Gunda.
This is where we're starting. This is the sound that's going out first. Is you guys making fun of some poor European guy's name?
No, that is from what is this? It's from the regional in Turkey, in Izmir.
No, it's from the Australian 20.
No, this is from a real. This is from a real.
No, I know. I guess that's just a joke now.
Well,
I
Dallas fell for
understand.
it.
I ate the onion.
Forgot the crab.
Okay.
Why
Hi, everybody.
Hey, this is gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah. So we discussed this a little bit.
So I think the first thing I have to bring up with Magic Arts.
Sure.
Spoiler: we're doing Magic.
Yeah. In case you can't tell from the thumbnail and the title and all the other stuff, the fact that I dug up the frickin' OST to the old like MTG Chandelar PC game from the 90s.
The 97 one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
I remember that one. Pro Jared played that.
So the thing I have to say about Magic Arts that's important is just because a card has one art, cards don't generally have one art. Like some do, but a lot of cards, especially staple cards, have multiple arts.
Yeah.
Like
it's basic. I would say it's similar to the ethos for why Yu-Gi-Oh has alternate arts for cards, but in the sense that they're staples so everybody sees them as opposed to they're anime cards so everybody sees them.
Start out with this card because this is a card called Unholy Strength, and this art is fairly good, I would say.
Okay.
If it was higher res, yeah.
But
Why is the I hit the image on Discord? It's tinier than what the what the chat is showing on Discord.
That's okay. I can find, so long as I have the names, I can find the fuller art.
Unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, I think Magic has pretty good.
But yes, this is our late April Fools. One because April 1st was that time we did that 6-hour live show about Olympus. So
I passed out halfway through it. It was.
That's okay. I almost passed out halfway through it.
I still need to finish Olympus.
I don't think I've been fully awake since we did that.
I remember I had to leave after. Sorry, Omega. I had to leave after 3 hours. And then like I clicked back on the computer and I was like, wait, what the fuck? They're still streaming?
Yeah. No. Trust me, I understand. Quite a few people had to dip partway through. Either
I
because
did
of
during this. I did
spoilers
when we started
or
spoilers.
anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the art Dallas is referencing.
I'm worried that we're never gonna play game again in Sundays anymore.
We're trying.
This is from a core set, and what a core set is basically reprints of cards they want to keep in the standard meta. Generally staple cards, Unholy Strength, Counterspell, Terror, things like this. And this is 10th edition. And most of the versions of Unholy Strength art is very good.
Yeah,
and now I want to bring up
it's a 1 black mana, so it's a 1 cost.
Enchant creature, which is basically an equip. It's an equip spell,
and it gives you +2/+1 for 1. That seems okay from what I understand of Magic.
If you're playing a deck that has blackness, it's not worth. It's not bad.
I would not say like it's hyper competitive, but it's definitely one of those cards that like it was played.
Part of the thing we're modeling this on is one of the reasons why I thought of this was because I've seen Dual Logs do this a couple of times where he looks at other card games, especially Magic. So I've watched those streams and I've played a little bit of Magic.
The problem with this card is literally just its, like, as weird as it is to say, is its color. Black generally doesn't have a lot of good Tron enchantment support, and by Tron I mean make a guy big and do other stuff.
That's usually white. That's usually white, right?
So the funny thing is that this card's a opposite of Holy Strength, which is +1/+2 for 1 white man.
Yeah.
So like they gave it a counterpart, but it doesn't work.
But the reason I wanted to bring this up is I want to show you the 7th edition version of this art.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Dallas, unless you play white.
No,
there we go.
That is the one I remember.
Oh, there's a couple. There's a couple.
There's a couple arts, but this one is particularly.
Why does this guy look like he?
You guys? No, actually no.
So
this guy
over here.
The head looks like he'd be Dan Fortescue.
So I want to bring up like
you get to be this guy.
I want to bring up how.
Oh, there, that guy.
I like it and how fucked up it is.
Oh, I mean, it's very fucked up.
But like, I guess it's meant to be literally like someone getting like fucking toon magic put upon them with like unholy fucking strength. Like,
I mean, yeah, like that seems like the concept, but in
God.
like, the only part of it that's unholy aside from the actual art is the background.
What
True.
year? What year was 7th?
Haven't this year was like 2005?
2004? No, it's before that. It was like 2002.
Okay. So I can
okay,
I can kind
I can
of
see
see
that.
right as like early 2000s.
But the
Like-
thing is, the older art is better.
Well,
This isn't even an
okay,
older
hold on. Don't necessarily say that about Unholy Strength, Dallas.
I mean, like
think the original art is.
the first one we've reviewed, I would say, is the most commonly is the most well known of the arts, at least.
Like, at least the other one, because I know you're looking at it, and you can bring that up if you want.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good
At least the
side
first
of it.
edition, like, Alpha one, at least that one gets the point of it is Unholy Strength across.
All right, I think this
Yeah.
card is like so old that there's not like a good scan of it. So we're just gonna pull up the whole card.
Yeah, no,
the whole
this
card.
is from Alpha.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up
I
just
wanna
the,
bring up
the
that-
whole ass.
I feel like the other Unholy Strength version, I could describe it as maniacal nerd rage.
Oh, by the way, Dallas, don't worry. We also have a secondary person in chat to give us good information. Apparently, 7th edition came out 2001.
Oh,
I knew it was around then because it was, well, it's right before they changed the border for Magic cards. So it was right around I knew it was right around Mirrodin.
But also,
Thank
by
you,
the
King of
way,
Hearts.
I want people at home to note,
This is old.
Yeah, this is very old, but it's very simplified, right? Like, Dallas
The first one
talked
they
about,
did.
like, he actually posted the card art for the new version of Unholy Strength, the 10th edition one, that has, like, enchantment aura as its sub-effect, and then enchant creature is the keyword on there, and then the actual effect and flavor text. This is just 1 black, target creature gains +2/+1.
No, this
It's an
is from
enchantment.
the first set.
Yeah.
This is the actual first set of Magic. That's the Alpha art. So yeah, no, that is the
When-
first set of Magic.
When actually was this? What's the actual...
1993.
yeah.
This guy looks like a mix of Jackie Chan and Kenshiro from Fist
Look,
of
the
North
face
Star.
isn't great for this. I will be the first to admit the face of this guy is not great. But I at least like the flaming pentagram in the background of being like, this is
Well,
Unholy Strength.
Yeah, I will say, I think
If they try.
the man that is chat is way worse. Like, that's just like, what are we actually going for here?
That is what is this card?
Like, first of all,
As
that
I
guy's
said-
torso is turning to dust, so, like, I feel like this guy is dying, not getting stronger.
The way his head looks, he'd actually like have the skeleton of Dan Fortescue from Medieval.
He looks like
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what he
true,
looks like? He looks like the Judge Doom guy from
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit. Like had a kid with the genie from Aladdin.
It's bad.
But,
The OG Unholy Strength, at least I get what it's going for. There's a guy, and he's experiencing some Unholy Strength. I don't know if he knows if he likes it or not.
I think we can agree on that. It's more of it's not bad. It's just mundane.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a little in the context of now. It's like been what, like 20 or 30 years, 40 years, God knows how long.
29 years.
29
I know
years,
that because
yeah.
it is exactly as old as me.
So now that we're at this point, like it's nearly 30 years. It's weird, but at the same time, are you really gonna dunk on it? Nah, it's okay.
I find it hilarious with the black border how incredibly difficult it is to read.
So there are a lot of minimalist arts in Magic. I want to show you an example of maybe too minimalist.
Yeah. By the way,
You know,
Dallas has
it's
curated all
hard
of this for
for
us,
this
so
to
we're
be-
just going along on Mr. Dallas's wild ride. And we're gonna
Well,
yell
we're
at
gonna
Mr.
start. By
Dallas
the way,
is
we're
wild
starting out
ride.
with the bad Magic art.
Oh, go for it. It's
I mean,
what the
isn't
people
this
want.
like? I mean, this is Dallas's late birthday present to like drag us on this PowerPoint presentation.
Is it late? What was your birthday, Dallas?
Today.
Okay.
Now.
Happy
Oh.
birthday.
Oh,
Everybody
it
say
is
happy
your
birthday
birthday.
to Dallas.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yes.
Are you serious?
I
Happy
thought it was
birthday.
earlier.
Yes.
I thought we missed
No.
it.
No.
It's
I
exactly
thought it was
today.
today, but I wanted to double check. But we didn't bring it up yet.
I don't know my dates. And
Well,
times,
yeah,
so-
Look,
lots of
it's my
future, so-
29th birthday. It's not exactly like I don't know.
Let's be careful. Let's be careful. Okay.
Some-
Late
Sometimes-
birthday.
Sometimes art is too minimalist.
What the fuck?
I like how the autocomplete for this card, as I pull up its card art, is price.
Price?
No, it's
By
always
the way,
Price.
I want to throw that. Hi everybody! I've come back from the graveyard after MBT murdered me earlier today because he fired heavy, hard and fast shots at Red Eyes. Though to be fair, that entire video is just he takes shots at literally everybody.
I mean, he fired one shot. It just did it hit you in the heart, I guess.
No. Actually, you got to remember what I said earlier when Dallas brought it up. That's the thing. With Red Eyes, we have great graveyard recovery. You can kill us as many times as you like. We just keep coming back. I flip Red Eyes.
That's all you got,
I'm
though.
back.
That's all you have, though.
I mean, yes, no, that's correct. That's why it's funny that Red Eyes has
you
no.
You can't even fuse cards correctly.
It's why it's why Red Eyes is being so expensive is funny is because that's all we do is just come back for the graveyard. But yeah, so this is Celestial Prism. It's a prism with a star in it.
By the way, this card has never been good.
It's a 3, and then it's what, 2 mana and tap?
Yeah, it's an artifact, so it stays on the field.
2 mana tap, provide 1 mana of any color. This use is played as an interrupt. What does that mean, Bart?
It means you pay 1 mana of any color for 2. It's a mana converter. There is a better card that costs less mana that is literally 1-to-1 to convert.
Yeah.
This card is awful.
I guess we need a better converter because you need those for, like, I guess certain decks where you just need to cover certain bases.
But I do feel a little bad for only picking on old cards. So I want to show new shitty Magic art. This is from, like, a couple years ago.
And I kind of feel like I want to... yes, I see this one on the internet all the time.
This feels like they were trying something, but it went horribly wrong.
Oh my god.
So, I know there are
This is
some
a real
people...
card, by the way.
There are some people who... there are some people who, you know, have their own thoughts on you know, Konami doesn't credit artists. I personally think that Konami should probably credit their artists, but at the same time, they've not credited them for like 20 years, so I don't think we're going to change their mind at this
point. Could you show the whole card just so like...
Oh, no, trust me, Axe. I've got a big boy of the full art. We can talk about the effect, but I've got a full art of this.
It's an absurd res.
Because I also just think the flavor fun.
We can read the flavor text. Hold on, let me make sure to size this up.
I want to read it. I want to read out loud.
But this card also, I will say, this card is actually very good.
So this card is called Faithless Looting.
So I want to read this. So draw 2, then you discard 2, and then you can pay 2 mana and 2 colors and 1 red, 2 flash mana.
Yeah, you pay 3 mana, 1 of which must be red.
So I will point out, this card is good. It is not as good as you would think being a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Because if this card was ever released in Yu-Gi-Oh, it would be the most broken card ever printed.
I mean, it's graceful.
I mean, yeah, no.
Graceful.
This is what, 1 mana, so this would be like pay like 1,000 life points or discard 1 card to activate because you know, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have any inherent cost.
Yeah.
But this is a card you can hypothetically play on turn 1, draw 2, discard 2, and you can play it from your graveyard. And the flavor text is...
Graveyard once.
How did you handle this? Wait, never mind. I don't want to know.
So, it's very interesting, but I want to bring up... also, I want to compare. This is the Japanese version of that card. Oh, this is slightly off-center.
Oh, yeah, you have the Japanese...
Yeah, I found it when Googling it. So, I see what both versions are going for. I'm looking at the current the American version, right? It looks like somebody did like a normal drawing of a naked person, possibly even a photo, and then photoshopped it. Like, this is just some fucking MS Paint shit.
Okay,
honestly, it straight up looks like a custom card that's like a 6-year-old.
I do want to point out, I also think the Japanese card art is bad.
I mean, I don't think it makes sense for what the card does, but it's a very detailed art.
Well, no, because the styles don't... Like, if you look at it closely, the style is so weird. It's all over the place.
The style of the Japanese? Not really. No, it's just it's got a little bit of an airbrush look, but it looks like I think it's weird that it's a very traditional Japanese art style.
Honestly,
yes, it is better. It's better than the American one, obviously, because I have eyes. But I don't think it's good art.
I will say, like, I don't think it's a good art match for this card because this card is called Faithless Looting, and I assume the idea is just from the flavor text is just you're grabbing random
You want to
bullshit.
see the original art? It very much fits the card.
I want to bring up for this art that
Go for it,
I feel like
Dallas.
it'd be better. Oh, that's actually fitting. I want to bring up the thing of, I think if this art was a thing, it shouldn't have had a person part. It should have all just been weird, like, stained glass fragments.
Yeah, that would probably make more sense. I will say,
Yeah.
I think if possible, I would like to try and avoid just showing straight up card art, because as I brought up with the crediting the artist, that does kind of mean we're kind of daubing on these people directly. I don't really want to be mean to them,
Well, no,
especially if it was
I'll
in the
say
90s.
this: not all of these artists are. Not all of the card art I'm going to show is bad, because I do think we need a bit of a palette cleanser.
If you could just show the spectrum. Yeah,
But
Um,
it's definitely I think there's something to be said for the fact that if you got a dodgy card art that like you are just gonna bring it up.
This
and
looks like
be like,
Faithless
yeah.
Looting. Like,
Yeah, no,
I
this
feel
is
like
what this card art probably should be. What was this? The new version printed in what set was that?
Strixhaven.
Ah, okay. The Magic
Okay.
School.
To be fair, the old card is not very old. It's like
No, I mean I'm looking at it.
first Zendikar set, I think.
It looks like an Innistrad card.
It's Innistrad or Zendikar. I can't remember.
I don't know what the sigil is. I can copy the art for you guys. You can identify
All these
it.
words I
but
remember
it's,
hearing so
it's
much.
it's got a
Oh, no,
copyright
it's
from
Innistrad.
2012.
It's
So
Innistrad. Yeah.
I mean, if you play, because Wizards of the Coast finally has a fucking brain. If you've played D&D 5e, you may also recognize some of these names because they actually try and like integrate some of their magic shit
So
into
I want to
D&D.
bring up that I like the actual like word text and like the banners on like the first card you showed of Faithless Looting. I like the actual like design, not the actual art, but like the way it's like formatted.
I'm gonna
and the
show
flavor text is better.
my favorite art of all time and its update, because this one is more personally my favorite. Like, it's not on a lot of people's favorite list, but I don't care.
Well, so I do actually want to make one request for Dallas. Are there the Street Fighter Magic cards in this pool?
No, but I could bring some of those up.
Those are insane.
Like, in what way?
Well, they try to emulate Street Fighter characters and their playstyles into Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah, we should at least show them for the effect, because we're also failed patrol. We also review cards here.
Like insane. They're insane commander cards, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I realized I
Evening Star.
misspelled Faithless Looting, but
But yeah, I did want to bring up, this is possibly my favorite art in MTG.
They're
Both
both
of
pretty
them.
good, honestly.
Yeah, the card art is
basic
good.
size.
Kamigawa has some very good art in it, in my opinion. Shame most of the cards in it are shit.
That's pretty
this one's
small.
not. This
I
card's
will
actually very good.
Resize this a little.
Why
but
were
I will
most of
try
them
and
bad? Were
find
they just not
bigger.
impactful?
It's just general balancing, because the way that rotation works for Magic is that, at least in the past, I heard they changed it recently, but there were sets. There were like sets of three. There were modules of 3 sets of.
I think it's gone up to 4.
So,
And,
I've heard people
that
talk about
sounds
this, but
about
what's
right.
Blood and Iron mean for like a format?
A format is 2 modules, so about 6 worth of cards
very
and the
big
core
card.
set of that year. So you have you have somewhere around probably like a couple hundred cards in the format at a time. And the few cards that are like constant, of course, are land. But aside from that,
So
like,
Chad is
it's
asking for
always-
which card this is. This is Kokusho, the Evening Star.
Kokusho, the Evening Star. This is actually part of one of my favorite competitive decks from the Kamigawa era.
I mean, actually, looking at both arts, I think they're both good.
Oh, I agree.
Oh yeah,
No,
No, I mean
they are
it's
both-
it's a black
She-
creature, but this is a spooky ghost dragon. I like
Yeah,
this.
no.
You know the weirdest thing
Yeah.
about it is that the the older one shows it where he's, I think, like spewing
She-
pestilence from. Oh, they.
No, this one is a she.
Okay.
It is
well,
specifically
she-
the sister dragon.
Okay, she's spewing pestilence from like openings in her body, and the other one. She's
Yeah,
covered
there's some
with
spooky
ghost
mist, and then the other one there's some
I-
spooky
Look,
skulls.
I like the first
Yeah.
one because I like the whole mist that like she's producing pestilence.
I'm a nerd. I read all of the Kamigawa books.
Of course you did.
I hope they were good.
They are actually. They're depressing as shit. Spoiler: the ending of the Kamigawa series is the universe dies.
Oh, of
So what I'm
course.
doing is, if we
I've-
see a
that's-
character, we have to refer to them
This
as
is the
they,
thing I've heard
otherwise
is
that's-
similar between like MTG lore and Yu-Gi-Oh lore is that Usually when lore things happen because conflict is required, usually some really fucked up bad shit happens a lot, and sometimes, a lot of the time, the bad guys win, so we can just close it out by eliminating all the characters and moving on.
I'm going to bring up another art.
Like if you guys have been following our regular Fail Portrayal, by the way, hi, this is Fail Portrayal. We're in case you didn't catch that earlier, we're doing this as a lark, as a late April Fool's, as you know, a palate cleanser, a funny thing. We don't like to necessarily trick anybody here on this channel.
It's also a birthday gift, I guess, to Dallas.
Well, yeah, it lined up with Dallas's birthday, so we were able to do something funny.
Happy birthday, Dallas.
Thank you.
But
Can we bring up Kokusho's effect, please?
shh, I am in the middle of something, Axe. God damn it. Why you always gotta speak the thought when I'm in the middle of a spiel? I'm telling the people. Normally we do this for Yu-Gi-Oh. If you aren't familiar, but we've done a lot of the hidden arsenal / dual terminal archetypes, which also have that thing about the storytelling I talked about, where hey, we need new card archetypes. What happened to the old guys? Well, they're all dead now. What happened to the ice barrier? They died.
Yeah.
What happened to the Jurax? They died.
I would put a little bit of pushback on that because there are very few MTG storylines that end as bleak. Like it's Kamigawa and Mirrodin the second time are the two that are like these ended super fucking depressing.
The main reason being is that they never always tell a story to completion in their sets. They sort of had there's always a rough storyline of what's going on in the world, but it rarely actually ends to the point of this plane is dead and gone because of the fact that we can come back to it again. So we're not gonna throw it all away if you don't feel like it.
Yeah. Spoiler: the Kamigawa only recently got reprinted, and the way they explained it, I think, is that after the death of Yamagaman. I'm not gonna do it. The evil god that, well, not evil, but the angry god that killed everything. Kamigawa basically regenerated from its corpse, and then it became neo-cyberpunk for some reason.
As you do.
Right. Yeah, the Neon Dynasty right now, yeah.
Yeah, because it's hilarious how Kamigawa was originally the very Edo period Japan. In its re-release, it's like neo-cyberpunk Japan.
I mean,
it looks cool.
That's fair, King of Hearts. That's fair. Amonkhet is another one. To be fair, Amonkhet was just depressing all the way through. Speaking of Amonkhet,
I'm doing some fucking math.
no, Axe did bring it up. To bring up this card's effect, it is 6 mana, 4 gray, 2 black. Flying. When Kokusho the Evening Star is put into the graveyard from play, each opponent loses 5 life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Note, that is not an OPT. And that is why this card is good.
Summon 4 of her?
And no, there's ways to cycle this card. Black is a great card for graveyard recursion.
Yeah,
that
love
tends
doing
to be
that.
that tends to be.
Yeah.
As someone who usually, anytime I get into Magic, I typically run white-black.
Yeah, no, this fits straight into a semi-competitive at the time, black-white life gain graveyard recursion deck.
Well, and the other thing that I think we should at least talk about Magic is that there's very rarely an actual once per turn clause in effects. They just require you to use a resource in the game, like tapping a card, meaning you only tap a card once per turn. You can only pay mana so many times in a turn. But there are cards to work around both your mana cost and tapping cards. There are cards that untap cards. So if they have a cheap effect or they have just a tap effect, you can cycle it.
I think the other thing too.
Okay.
Sorry. I think the other thing too is the higher prevalence of counter cards. Because that's Blue's whole, well, not whole shtick, but a good chunk of their shtick is they counter stuff.
I feel like you're going to put is Magic and I think a few other games like a few others are, and maybe Hearthstone too, they are basically a currency based or a energy based card game, and then Yu-Gi-Oh is basically an engine and advantage based card game.
Well, you can.
Any sense?
you still need to maintain card advantage in Magic somewhat. Like if you're blowing through a whole bunch of cheap spells real quick.
But depending on what kind of deck you're playing, and
Yeah.
what the themes of your current cards are, blowing through your cards in Magic is not necessarily the same thing as it is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, for instance...
But no, I thought hold on, I'm just responding to someone in chat. I thought I brought that up. Kokusho was a very good card. It wasn't one of the, it wasn't GT good in terms of this set. It wasn't like, holy shit, this card is the most broken thing in this set. But no, Kokusho was a great card.
But what I want to point out is that we brought up Faithless Looting earlier. That has a keyword that you can play it from your graveyard and then you exile, aka banish it afterward. So it's always a little bit different because Magic seems to maybe not as much now, but I feel like there are definitely times when they would just do rando keywords and do stuff. Like with Yu-Gi-Oh, you can get very unique mechanics. Those are usually archetype locked, right? For instance, Ursa Arctic are the first time they ever decided to do Dark Synchro and be like, hey, so to Synchro Summon, you need the differences to make this 1-star Synchro. And they haven't done it again yet.
I'll also say, banishing or quote-unquote exiling is a lot bigger of a deal in Magic, because there are very few, if any, cards that interact with the exiled zone.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Really kind of... I don't know why they decided to go this route, but they went as just the fact that Konami will turn anything into a mechanic. Because remember, guys, Banished used to be removed from play. I think in the anime... actually said it. In the anime, you would actually, physically take the cards out of the play area and, put them in your pocket.
Generally, the only cards that interact with the exiled zone are on the card text themselves. Exile this until the end of whenever.
Yeah, I was gonna say are temporary exiles.
Yeah. There's generally nothing that is bring back an exile that doesn't exist.
Yeah, once you're exiled in Magic, you're generally pretty much done.
Also, I want to throw this out there. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna say, if I'm wondering if the original influence of Kamigawa may have been just from cultural stuff, that was about the time that Dragon Magazine updated Oriental Adventures to 3.5 D&D. That was the same year, and this would have been around the same time because they published that material. That technically Wizards of the Coast owned Legend of the Five Rings for a little bit.
I can also go into why it was an underpowered set. Because there actually is a reason behind that. Is because it came out of what I would consider one of the most overpowered and toxic formats. One that I played in competitively of Mirrodin, where decks were broken to shit. So they were like, what if we just kind of don't do that again?
Do you have an example of what is that kind of deck?
So there's a thing in Mirrodin, a keyword called Affinity for Artifacts. Where artifacts cost 1 less. This artifact costs 1 less for every artifact you have in play.
Oh no.
Yeah. There were basically there were three decks in Mirrodin. There's basically 3 deck types. They varied in composition, but there was Affinity, Counter Artifacts, which was green for the most part, which was basically focus on blowing up artifacts, and what I'd like to call a Tog, which is take your artifacts and fling them at your opponent's face.
What do you mean?
There were cards like Shrapnel Blast, which is sacrifice an artifact and deal 5 damage.
Oh no, shit. No. That sounds really easy to do.
What Dallas meant was pull a Kyber and throw your cards at someone.
Yeah, basically.
I was gonna say, wait. I'm noting that it doesn't specifically say sacrifice one of yours.
Oh no, it did. It did.
Oh, it did. Okay.
You can only So it doesn't say that, but you can only sacrifice your own cards.
Oh, okay.
It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where if it's not as they described it.
Yeah, Mirrodin was such a bullshit block.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I've heard probably from either MBT or Timo talking about. I think that's one of the ones that they said kind of started turning people away from Magic for a bit.
Well, no, Kamigawa was people liked Mirrodin, but they just decided to try and tone it down a bit too. And I love Kamigawa. I'm a Kamigawa defender.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
somebody
because
must.
I like
There
lower
must be
power
some people who.
formats.
I'm back, by the way. There must be some people who stand for it because they decided to bring back the name for this, Neon Dynasty set, which is the. Do I just want to grab a banner for this just to show people this art style? I think I do.
I
This
don't
is
think
so
I,
good.
So
Dallas, oh yeah, Dallas.
Oh, it's
Are
a very
any
big
of
banner.
like when people talk about Neo Dynasty, do people say any of the cards are playable? Because I heard people complaining that they're not.
I mean, they kept the spirit of coming going. That's
Aw.
for sure.
I thought
So,
they were,
yeah,
I
here,
thought they
there,
were
I
at least,
sh- I
I
showed
thought
you
they were
some
at
of the
least
stuff.
averagely good.
Well, not to necessarily down talk Magic or anything, but this is one of the advantages from a business sense of the Magic rotating formats is if you're playing, the newer sets and stuff, is it once they get to enough rotation, you kind of gotta buy the new shit or wait until they rotate around again. So.
And it also means that the meta does naturally reset itself eventually.
On the plus side, from what I can tell, Neo Kamigawa is a significantly cheaper format than we were just in. So there's that.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it sounds
Magic
like
the
COVID
Gathering and
format
price
was COVID
gouging.
format for everybody.
Dude, Magic the Gathering is never as bad as Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wow.
But
well,
some format,
Dallas,
the
there are
price
people
fluctuates.
who will fight you on that.
For buying
Well,
the
okay,
actual cheap
those are the
versions
people
of the card.
talking. Okay, let me rephrase that. Modern and standard. Yes, jackasses. I realize Legacy is a format that is literally: are you a small Saudi prince? If not, you cannot play our format.
Yeah.
But
but that's the thing I wanted to bring up because on both sides of the argument, people will forget to not split hairs on that. No, there are very, very expensive formats of Magic. That is not all formats.
it's just
You
not
play,
the standard.
you play
or
the normal format.
Though
99%
technically,
of
I'm
people
hearing
don't play
that
that
I'm
format.
hearing that Konami is sanctioning Time Wizard. So if
Edison, yeah.
that means Edison cards are expensive. But if they're also sanctioning Common Charity, Yu-Gi-Oh literally has a pauper format.
But the thing about Magic is they reprint cards like crazy.
Well,
Way
I
more
assume
than
for Staples anyway, you have to because otherwise the
Yeah.
whole rotational
Like-
thing does not work, right? Like if you
Counterspell is one of the most powerful cards in Magic's history. It's like $1, I think.
and we were just discussing some.
reprinted almost every year.
We were discussing some Yu-Gi-Oh like expensive pricings. Like Yu-Gi-Oh is not necessarily shy. Hell, it was just announced today that Ghost from the Past 2 is going to include some key reprints, though still
Actually,
in Ultra.
This reminds me of a thing I remember seeing when I've seen people do like box openings for Magic. Now, is there a thing where a thing called the list, where basically every pack has one card has a card that's a reprint from like the classic staple cards?
I don't necessarily know if that's official, but
I know it's in the Neon. I know it's in the Neon
Well-
Dynasty packs.
Well, because don't they usually have like the yearly block that's usually
By the way, guys, if
reprints
you're
of-
expecting
True.
Hulk to get banned, don't. He's being reprinted in Ghost from the Past 2.
But I did want to say
We're getting a
this.
Hulk reprint. A Luber
play
is getting
Christmas.
reprinted.
I want to show the thing that Magic does that I wish to God Yu-Gi-Oh would do, and that is full art alternative arts for classic cards.
The
yes,
thing
please.
is, though, Omega, if you're playing Christrons, you only need one Hulk, right? If you had two, it doesn't really do much, right?
I fucking love this art.
Oh yeah, and
And it doesn't have the effect text because everyone who plays Magic knows what this card does.
that's the 3 damage one, right?
Yes,
Bolt
it's instant
Bird.
speed 1. Yes, it's instant speed 3 damage
Is it-
instant.
Is it just steal 3 damage?
Yeah,
Period?
it's steal
Nothing
3
else?
damage.
I'm going
Okay.
to pull
Yeah.
up both the
Fucking lightning
actual
bolt.
art of the card as Dallas has presented it, because that's the full effect is just look at this. And I
It's
think
steal 3
honestly,
damage.
arguably Yu-Gi-Oh could get away with this, but I think it would have to be only for anime cards.
I mean, they
like,
could probably
You
do
could
it
print
on.
Pot of Greed, and you don't need to say what it does because that's
wait,
a literal
you
fucking
could,
meme.
You
What?
could do it for normals, like Dark Edition and like Red
Yeah,
Eyes and
vanilla
Blue Eyes.
normal monsters as well.
Yeah.
But
Well,
for
I do want to reference Lightning Bolt's position in the game as if I remember right, Dallas, it's an alpha card, right?
It's either alpha or beta, I can't remember.
But it comes from one of the I would not say like there's like two mainstays of like ancient Magic lore. It's the Power 9 and these series of cards where there is one there is a single drop cast of every color that has some relation to the number 3.
Yeah.
So Dallas, I have a question for you.
Like Dark Ritual,
Dark Ritual is
Dark Ritual, Giant Growth, Lightning Bolt, and the white and blue ones
Ancestral
suck.
Recall.
Well,
Oh,
also,
Ancestral
by the way,
Recall,
I will
never
say
mind,
this
never mind.
is. I don't know if this is a.
That's the opposite of sucking.
Apparently,
What's
I
the
need to be on this
opposite of
website all
sucking?
the time. But there's a literal website called
blowing?
artofmtg.com that just lists the art for things. So I think I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Oh yeah,
in the future.
no, that's one thing I appreciate about modern MTG art is after sets are released, artists usually put the full prints of art on their Twitter.
Or ArtStation. I know
yeah,
there's a
or
lot of
ArtStation.
game designers who do that. But yeah, there's a literal. I'll link it to you guys as
That,
well.
that was just asking. I have a question for you.
Well, I have an answer possibly.
Whose giant like storm hand is shooting the lightning bolt?
It's just figuratively. There's a card
Okay.
called Lightning
Whatever you
Strike
want
where there's a card called Lightning Strike which is similar art that is specifically Keranos, which is basically Zeus.
Okay.
Oh, System Corano.
I guess that's where they're pulling it from.
But this is just like it's just the art because I love this art. It's so good.
It looks like it looks like an actual painting
Yeah.
is the thing.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of art that looks like actual painting,
Considering how often I've been killed by lightning bolt, yeah, it's good to see proper art.
I mean, just do 3 damage is pretty good sometimes.
Well, no,
No,
because
yeah,
I remember
it's
people would stick it on an artifact that says just reuse this one instant.
Well, and also, yeah, it's
as
it's
your
a one,
concept.
so
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
all right. So
Wow.
It's
all right, let's see how fucking
like-
I figured the website I just pulled up would have fucking swag low resolutions.
I want to say of like the 3 series cards in early Magic, the only one that doesn't really get talked about is the white one because I think it's just gain 3 life and that's shit.
yeah, it's
It's like
bad.
you have Lightning Bolt, deal 3 damage. Ancestral Recall, draw 3 cards for 1 blue.
Yeah, that card is the power 9. So yeah.
Well, yeah, somebody brought
Recall.
Mr. Dennis Cordell said in the chat that the blue one is literally banned in like almost
Every format but vintage.
And the black one is Dark Ritual, which is 1 black mana, gain 3 black mana.
Yeah, and that card is
Fucking
consistently
Why
in a lot
don't
of
you just
competitive
run like
decks.
5
Oh
of
my
that
god,
card?
I love that.
Because you can only run 4 of one
I
copy
mean,
of the
that's
card.
like
That's
that's like
part of
the
it.
that is the
A lot of
Yu-Gi-Oh
black decks
equivalent
do.
of Pot of Greed, right? Of just like,
Like-
hey, get 1 card and just make more cards.
Yeah, basically. But
Wishing
like
for
every,
more wishes.
Like every mana type has a version of that card in some form. Like blue has 1 mana untap 2 permanents, which can mean untap
Well, you know,
2
yeah.
life.
If you need a ramp, it's
Yeah.
there. This, by the way,
Fucking
as Chad has already
Blossom.
mentioned, this card is called Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, no, this is one of the most expensive meta cards still. I believe this card is still $40. This card was part of a great meta deck, Tribal Fairies.
Yeah.
But God, Bitter Blossom is such a good art. Like I can't.
I haven't seen this version of the art.
Yeah, there's a
This
couple
is the
versions.
original, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a
sense.
nice
I
art.
mean, it could be worse. It could be what was it? It could be fucking Black Lotus. In terms
Oh yeah,
of
no,
costs.
that card. Yeah, Magic cards usually when a Magic card is $40 or $50, that is like, oh shit, that card's expensive.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat,
But
by the
then
way,
there's
asked,
the old Alpha Beta cards, which are
somebody in chat asked what the green spell, which is the 3, does.
Giant Growth.
Growth,
It's just
which
plus 3
is
plus
creature
3
plus-
till end of turn.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
3 plus 3 plus 3. which-
Was it plus
it's
3
good,
plus 3, or did it also give trample?
No, it's just
still-
plus 3 plus 3.
I'm trying to.
But it's
ask
an
you-
instant, so you can do it in damage step, which is
Yeah,
why
it's
it's
pretty
good.
fucking bullshit.
I mean, it's good.
But yeah, the
Green
name
usually
Giant
runs
Growth
tramples
definitely.
anyway, so
Well, the thing is, you could do. I swing at you with my 1/1 elf token. It's like, okay, I
Oh, yeah.
take the damage. Now my elf cast Giant Growth twice. Now my elf token is 7, and it kicks your face in.
yeah, no, I've been blown out by giant growths before.
Yeah, now that you mention the name Giant Growth, I'm like, that sounds right because I know that.
Yeah, Giant
That's one of
Growth
the
has
ones I
been
know of.
like Giant Growth, Lightning Bolt, and Dark Ritual have been reprinted, and Healing Salve, but no one cares. Have been reprinted
Okay.
ad nauseum. They have never reprinted Ancestral Recall because it would be banned.
Well, yeah, because it's Ancestral Recall. You,
But
people at home in the audience have probably heard that name.
so Dallas, do you
Only
know
mentioned
what?
it is literally Pot of Greed.
Do you know what 10th, like the flavor text for Lightning Bolt from 10th edition is?
There's probably a lot of them.
Post it.
Isn't one just called
You're gonna ask
ah?
Post it, yeah.
Isn't one of them just insert Wilhelm scream here?
I don't know, because it's like King Hearts brought it up and then didn't say what it was.
What do you say, Kingdom Hearts?
The Spark Mage shrieked, calling on the rage of his storms to his youth. To his surprise, the sky responded with a fierce energy he'd never thought to see again. I think that's 10th edition.
That sounds about right.
I guess the idea is like, it's back, I guess, a bit.
Yeah, that was when they reprinted it.
Oh, okay.
But okay, all right. We can fish up a new card art then.
Yeah, no, this art's good.
Yeah, Bitter Blossom, by the way, is a tribal enchantment fairy for 2 mana, one of which needs to be black. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, but you put a 1/1 black fairy rogue token with flying into play.
If
So
you're playing
just
black,
the other-
probably get that.
I want to get to the third part of Magic Art. Because there's one other thing that it does that
I don't
Yu-Gi-Oh! Can't do.
well, at least
Hits?
Yu-Gi-Oh can't do in this country.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
go
No,
look up
they
the
never-
lost. Everybody go look up the lost art of Parasite Paranoid.
Ugh.
True. Very true.
Like, you remember, this is Kazuki Takahashi. The OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Like manga is really metal
Super
and
occult.
fucked up.
It's super occult.
But the card art has always been thought of as for children, so even the like Konami pre-filters, and then we get even more. Oh lordy, okay.
I don't want to look at that anymore.
Let me see if I can find this in this website.
Featuring here, the boss from Mother 3.
I don't want to keep
you are
looking
not
at it. So
wrong.
I feel like I'm gonna start taking sand damage.
I can't freaking.
You have already taken sand damage.
No,
it's too late.
I-
You
No,
can't
because
escape
it's like a tome. You have to at least read it for 5 minutes.
So funnily enough, apparently this counts as art because I've when I'm looking for an image of this, which again, this is an old ass card, so you may just have to show the full art that Dallas has given me. Like the actual card. Apparently a wall print of this sold for $45,000.
Can I read the flavor text of this?
This is an
'Cause-
old.
Well, I'm gonna put it
I
on
don't know if
screen.
it has flavor text.
Said the
No, that's
classic
all
and
it
Becky
said.
waifu
No,
card
that's
is
the one you
clearly Emrakul.
Oh no! Don't worry, we'll get to Eldrazi later. I have some of those.
This is Living Wall. It is an artifact creature for 4. It's a goopy wall.
With a fetus in it.
Some fiend is made to create a horrifying wall of living flesh packed together from a jumble of still recognizable body parts. As we sought to hew our way through it, some unknown power revealed the gaping cut, denying us passage.
So it is a
Fucking
wall.
magic necromancers are a different level.
It's a wall, and for one manja, you can regenerate.
Yes, which means it
One
don't
block.
die.
One
No,
block,
it
yeah.
doesn't die.
It's a 0/6.
Yeah, you have to
It's a wall.
pay a regenerate cost immediately. When it does,
I
right?
remember
Yes.
walls
You have to-
were a much stronger theme in older Magic. I don't know how relevant they are now, but I've seen them in games like the old Chandelier game.
Not really.
I see you just make. I see you just make a bunch of blocking tokens.
This one is okay. So if I said that there was a card called Plagiarize, would you expect it to be in this portion of the Magic art?
I don't know.
Not necessarily, though. I have just because I guess we're in a theme. Yeah, I know it's on an article, which is the most disturbing MTG card arts. I've discovered there are MTG cards just called shit like Disembowel and Mutilate. They're
Yeah.
all in black, by the
yeah.
way.
No, I think I ran a couple of those in my
Whoa.
white black deck.
Whoa. All right.
What
Okay.
the
Yeah.
heck?
No. This art
Alright.
is like, what the f was the artist doing?
Are you thinking?
Jeremy Jarvis, are you okay?
I just see
What's happening here?
quote here too.
Max C wishes he were this.
Well, first of all, this is clearly the Corinthian from Sandman, because its eyes are mouths.
Oh, and its mouth is an eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a magnifying glass.
Here we go. We got a decent
Because-
size.
but he is.
It's some kind of monster using a human using a body as a disguise.
Well, so it's clearly clockwork, but it's also got like an eye. But also his eyes are mouths. What the fuck?
Yeah. No, I don't know what this has to do with plagiarizing.
Well, the effect makes sense. The art.
Yeah, I don't know
does
what
not.
that's the art is what we're saying. I don't understand. Like
And
the
the
flavor
flavor
text is
text,
just,
yeah.
are you thinking what I'm thinking? No, probably not.
I think I am B2.
I don't think I am because I'm thinking about what the fuck am I looking at?
Like, I think they designed the card and then put the art to it, I think.
This next art I'm gonna give to Omega is for all my Full Metal Alchemist fans.
Oh no.
Okay.
Sure. What you got?
Is it FNA or the actual manga?
You'll see. I just need to get a proper copying of this.
Just right click. I kid. I know where it is.
Click, 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 click.
Oh, there's somebody just said there's another card name called Spinal Attraction.
Yeah, can I pass on that?
I mean, that one just looks like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
The
Fair
best
enough.
little guy in Magic Gathering for Prism. What?
Oh.
Okay, that's
Big
disturbing but
brother.
kind of cool in like a fucked up way.
Yeah.
I mean, this
one
reminds me of
like-
some Gustav Doré
Wait.
prints.
that
Wait,
look-
it looks like a weird fusion of the dragon from Everlasting Story and the kid from it.
This
True.
looks. Yeah. Right. That's what it reminds me of. Tucker's daughter being
So
fused.
what does this card do?
It's a 1/1 flying for 2, 1 white and one colorless, 1 black. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top card of your library into your graveyard, and then it has Threshold, where it gains 1 +1/+1, and has at the end of your turn remove 2 cards from your in your graveyard from the game, and you can only have Threshold active when your graveyard has 7 or more cards in it.
So what's this card called again, by the way?
Blood Curdler.
Gee,
Sure.
I wonder why.
So, what's the what's like the objective to like trigger Threshold a bunch of times?
The objective to Threshold is Threshold wasn't very good.
Okay, so this card's not good.
Well, yeah,
was gonna say-
it sounds like the threshold, like effect we're going for is just have X number of cards in graveyard, and then you can activate further effects. Which
because I remember I had a threshold card that was kind of it was a cheaper pacify that didn't get its full pacify effect until you had, I think, 4 in the graveyard.
Like, there are good Threshold effects, but
This one in
it's
particular.
basically the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of all those cards that are like, hey, if you have exactly 4 of this in your graveyard, you could do a thing, but
All right, Lavels, yeah.
no,
yeah.
not necessarily.
like the
I'm thinking of
dads or
even
the-
earlier than that. Yeah, Dad, Archwood Christia, like, and think
Oh,
about
yeah,
how many of those,
Christia.
like, some of them are good and some of them are not.
Oh, right, there's this card. We can go back to Kamigawa for a little bit.
Reminds me, I need to go into my collection and see if I have any Archlord Christia.
Dallas, do you have like more on the docket, or are you just adding more to the...
No, he's got a list.
Fuck it.
Look, this is
I have
Dallas's
exact. It was a
tour.
reprint in Destiny Soldiers. I have exactly 1 Archlord Christia. Neat.
This card, I'm going to give you the full art.
I may be thinking, by the way, of trying to make a Herald deck. It's very tiny. What's this card called, Dallas? Somebody will
Ragged
find it.
Veins.
Ooh, yeah, no, I see that now.
And it's, first of all, it's an enchantment to a creature that you can play anytime you can play an instant. Whenever enchanted creatures dealt damage, its controller loses that much life.
No. The size
that's
is
that's
the
very
size.
J-horror of just having roots that are veins.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
The,
it's like
okay.
again,
the
it's
size
like
is
a
just
lot
the
of
size,
a lot
yeah.
of really good magic art that's black, like that's black magic, is that it's majestically fucked up, but it's still
Well,
majestic.
black is the element of like death and decay
Yeah.
and stuff.
So it's
Yeah.
usually fucked up. I remember seeing a black card once that was. It was a giant and like it had flavor text about so. It's like a giant corpse that had like basically zombies and it had its skull cap cut off, so it had brains in its skull cavity. It's like, and the clear text is about by removing the brain, a giant can now carry more units inside its head. It was just weird. Like Necromancers talking about how making their armies.
But, to be fair, we're here for jank.
Yeah.
And I think we should get back to some of the jank.
Go for it.
Yeah.
What's this card do again?
It just enchants a creature. Whenever the enchanted creature is dealt damage, its controller loses that much life.
Okay.
There's not a good full art of this, Omega.
All right, well, just
Possibly for good reasons.
drop it on me.
You heard about giant growth. What
Yeah.
about giant strength?
Ah, yeah. I recognize this.
And a callus spot.
This is another. Generally, these older school, like the really old stuff, doesn't really have a lot of good high-res digital art on the internet for some reason. This one's a little blurry, but I will pull this up. Anyway, it's giant strength. Also, shout out to just old school Magic, just fucking quoting Billy Shakes. I think we've made this joke before, but like, what the fuck? We could just do that, I guess.
Yeah.
I will bring up like how the guy is dragging a fuck ton of like a super tank.
Well, yeah, he's dragging a giant train. That's the point. But also, like, look at him.
Yeah.
Very
God damn
much,
it.
very big boy. You know, like
It makes me think
early
Melding.
internet era webcomic art. Like we're practicing at home. Sorry, I leaned back a little far from my microphone. Don't know how much
Okay,
of that picked up.
I heard. I thought I was quiet. It's like I thought it might be a deafened me or something.
No.
No, I just leaned back a little bit. Sorry.
Okay, I'm
Disregard
doing
that.
this because Chad is requesting it of me.
I'll
Yeah.
punch the bear.
What is this card? What is bear punch?
Savage punch.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's actually great.
I will bring the bear punch.
I mean, from memory, there is one green creature that always scared the fuck out of everyone, which I believe was Charging Honey Badger.
What's the
Hey,
card do?
believe it or not, this card is modern enough. Axe, you can literally read it.
I know the honey badger card.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know what that
That
card is.
doesn't matter. It does.
Also,
It
this
doesn't
card-
matter what
oh,
it does. Anyway, this is a
Also,
bear
oh
punch.
my god, this card was memed to shit, so that's another reason it probably has a lot of art.
So how do you trigger ferocious?
Ferocious is if you control.
It says how
read
it
it.
drops.
Yeah, read it.
Oh, okay.
It was a new
Oh,
mechanic, so it says it on the card.
Yeah,
My
it's-
bad. I
That's what the continuing on text of the thing is.
Yeah.
Ah,
Target creature you
That's
control
not a
fights
bad
target
card.
creatures you don't control.
or at least to my understanding of Magic. I don't know like high-end Magic. Like it doesn't seem like a bad card.
No, it wasn't. It was in a lot of decks, actually.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Because
But it's a bear punching
it forces
man.
a combat. It forces a combat between two creatures, and
Yeah.
so you can.
It's like
you
it's basically
that.
removal. Generally,
Yeah.
what you use fight for is removal. Like you do something that has a higher enough attack and toughness to remove something that has an annoying effect.
Yeah.
I love the flavor
Like,
text of this card lot.
This is, unless it has flying, green doesn't typically have a lot of straight up removal or damage.
No.
And so
I've seen
this
people.
is this is how green gets around that.
by
Just
trampling
punching a
giant things.
motherfucker.
I have
Yeah.
seen people play decks, which is his Charging Badger, and I'm gonna buff the fuck out of it.
This charging
Because it's a
trample.
1/1 trample.
I mean, it's a 1/1 for
No,
one with
that
trample.
makes sense.
That's all right.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, no, this is a bear punch. Are you happy, chat? I was able to get this one in high res.
It's good art.
Oh yeah. No.
No, yeah, that card was just a literal meme for a
This
while.
dude is metal by punching a bear in the face.
Look, Takir is one of my personal favorite sets. So I made a rule to myself that I was not gonna put any of the unsets in this because that's cheating. Because they're
Oh,
joke
those-
art,
Yeah.
Oh, the unhinged.
unhinged,
would-
unglued, like. The
I mean,
new
I'd
one.
like to see one or two of them, but
I promise you, this card is not from one of those sets. It's not.
Uh-oh.
I swear it's not.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Is it
Show
is it
me.
Goblin Game? Is it Goblin Game?
No, but it's a very similar vein.
Show me.
I'll look up Goblin Game and put it out here because I think that should be a card we review the effect of just because it's fucking weird.
Oh yeah, no, that card is like funny for the
I mean,
effect. This is
I'll
the
pull it up.
Kobolds of Terror.
Yo, what the fuck?
This
What?
isn't an unset card, I promise.
why is the trying to be, for instance, one being weird?
What is the point of this card?
Why is trying to be find where's Waldo? Still not the right hat.
All right, I
mean,
cannot.
it's
Straight
a-
up like it's from like an online simulator.
No, it's an actual card.
There is no way a printed card looks like this.
Oh, do you wanted to see the original art?
Yes.
Remember, Axe, the most broken card in Inscription is the gag.
It even has the PCST of this card as a red spell because it costs 0.
By the way, Dallas, I just remember you mentioned Unhinged. I remember one of my favorite Unhinged cards.
But yeah, no,
Boat.
That seems really
real.
bad. It seems. Wait,
Yeah,
no. Say toy boat quickly.
Is a cumulative of upkeep. That is such a funny use of that. Because you have to say it one more time each upkeep.
Yeah.
Well, and the uncards,
Fumbling it.
the uncards are real Magic cards that are not made for tournament play. Basically.
Yeah.
So basically, you summon that you say toy boat, and then you have to say the next turn you say toy boat.
Basically,
without fucking it up.
This is another case where I think Konami could also similarly be a little. You know how in Yu-Gi-Oh we have all these prize cards that are just, hey, if you use this card, you win and do something stupid with it, you win the match. You can't play this card in a duel. Magic's version of that is like, actually like, you know, when you play this card, send your opponent to the Shadow Realm, you know, or shit like that. Like it's just a weird shit.
And also,
there's one where it's like if you're wearing women's
or
underwear,
it's like that AI
everything
card that
costs
lets you special summon from anywhere.
I know that there was
the
a
thing is that the Magic ones also have a lot of in-jokes, too.
There was one where someone played it against me and said, "Okay, cool. Now I play this card. You have to go get me a drink now."
My personal
Then again,
favorite card of
Yu-Gi-Oh!
all
also
time is AWOL. Exile target attacking creature, then remove it from the game, then put it in the absolutely removed from the freaking game forever zone.
Have you seen me?
It's not coming back.
It's
The
such
card's not coming back, y'all.
I'm asphyxiating.
It's
Oh my
such
god.
a good card. And then you see where he is, it's the back of the Magic card. I love this card.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
What?
I'm
Anyway,
going to post Goblin Game now because I want us to review the actual effect of this card.
No, Goblin Game is a card
So
that reads
we've had kobolds of Karakeen, which, by the way, look like goblins. They don't look like kobolds.
Yeah, but
They are neither dog nor lizard
There's nothing to
people.
say about the. I'm going to say about the art of this card, but the effect of this card, I feel like we have to
No,
talk.
Goblin Game is one of those cards that when you read it, you think it's an unhinged card, and you realize it isn't.
Okay, give me a second. It's not. Oh no, there it goes.
Okay, so let me
Oh,
copy
right,
the image and
that's
throw this
one.
up there.
That costs 7 mana. Holy shit. Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
nope.
We're
Let's-
showing.
All right.
let's
Hold on.
wait
I gotta
until
make
the
sure
card
Show the whole,
it's
show the whole card
correctly.
of this, because I think we need to receive
Well,
this.
yeah, we got it because we got to read the effect. Yeah. I'm just gotta like shrink it a tiny bit so it fits on the screen. Okay.
Oh, right. If you're the better at play the hand, the better you're just doing this.
All right. So Goblin Game. Each player hides at least one object. Then all players reveal them simultaneously. Each player loses life equal to the number of objects he or she revealed. The player who revealed the fewest objects then loses half of his or her life. We didn't understand about singular they back in the day. Rounded up. If 2 or more players tied for fewest, each loses half his or her life rounded up. Yeah, you play a dumb. This sounds like a literal child game for goblins.
So the funny thing about this is if anyone's interested, there is a full 10-minute video by Aristic Studies about this card. The competitive ruling of this card is almost akin to Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship, where both players think of the concept of the objects to hide and then reveal the number at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say-
which, if you guys don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship is a card where you offer your opponent a handshake. Even before COVID, the official rules were your opponent just has to accept the handshake. You don't have to actually literally shake hands.
Except the concept of accepting the handshake.
Yes. You
I'm
offer
sorry.
the handshake, and they can choose to accept. You don't have to consummate the handshake.
So,
Yeah.
just, you know, I just enjoyed the lost your other card. I just started laughing.
Oh yeah.
Can we show this one? This is great.
So I found another unhinged card because I.
No,
I
we're gonna be
was-
here all night if we show unhinged cards.
Yeah,
Okay, can we just
no.
show, I mean, just this one card.
But-
No.
No. I'll share this with you guys, and I'll tell us a quick story. You know how in Progression Tournament I'm fucked? Apparently that also happened in Magic the Gathering a lot, because my people I played with said I need to run this card in all my decks.
Mana screw.
Because I was always
man,
mana
it's true.
screwed.
Also, by the way, I have a similar one. Talking about cards that are fucking nonsense. that are not and are banned because they just are crazy. Here's an older school one that I know about because the artist is I think it's Kaja or Kaya Foglio.
Hey!
The
Herazade
Foglios,
is infamous.
the Foglios
shit,
draw
Herazade.
webcomics now. They do Girl Genius, both of them.
By the way, to the chat, I love Foglio's art, so I did not put any of their arts in.
Yeah, no.
this
I
selection.
think they're good artists, but
It's
as
an
a
aesthetic.
card effect, Shahrazad is fucking stupid. This is a 2-white card.
Scheherazade is the most problematic card.
But
ever
this
Played
also is
minigames.
not from when they did joke sets. This was from the actual
No, this
Arabian
is a
Nights
real
themed
card.
set they did, and it says this is a sorcery that costs 2 white. Players must leave the game in progress as is and use the cards left in their libraries as decks to play a sub-game, no definition of that, by the way, sub-game, of Magic. When the sub-game is over, players shuffle these cards, return them to their libraries, and resume the game in progress, with the loser of any sub-game, or the loser of the sub-game, sorry, having his or her remaining life points running down. Effects that prevent damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. The sub-game has no ante, because this is back in the day anti-rules. Using less than 40 cards may be necessary. Necessary.
Right, there was a card that just says no to this.
But yeah, no, this is just like literally in the middle of your Magic game, leave every card that's in play where it is, take your library, your deck, and go play another game of Magic.
Back on bad Magic art, though.
I think the best part about that concept is at a tournament where you play it, you have to call a judge, have them get another table set up for you guys because there's no room.
Can we have another table,
Yeah.
please?
Judge,
Well,
I have
here's-
played Shahrazad. We must, as per the rules, we must play a sub-game of Magic the Gathering.
And then it's
Here's-
revealed
here's
that
the other
guy's running
problem.
full Charizard.
Well, that's
the
the
other
other thing.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shahrazad is infinite. You can nest it again.
So
Yeah.
Sir, I need another table.
Hey,
So
why
I've
there
played
a-
what's the max in Magic? Is it 4 copies?
Yes, 4.
why
So
is there-
hypothetically,
why is it
you could
4?
go, assuming there's no
Eight
mirror
tables.
match, you can go 4 sub games deep. You can play Shahrazad 4
So
times.
one
Yeah.
game,
Yeah,
game that was eventually decided that I won by default. I won the game by simultaneously casting 525,600 copies of Shahrazad at once.
How?
Well, I could essentially do it infinite, but I picked 525,600
Yeah. You can
How?
do dumb bullshit like that in Magic. where you can
by
do
infinitely copying sorceries. This was in a commander game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not going to explain the entire combo because it's long and complicated, but
Yeah, but
But Dallas was
Yeah,
able
they
to
essentially-
infinitely recur.
they essentially said, "Okay, fine, you win, or else we're literally going to be here forever."
I have fuckled the game. The game
I
state
have-
judge, it is destroyed. I have destroyed the game state.
I have destroyed the concept of magic. I win. Anyway, what is this art?
Oh, lordy. Can we show this on YouTube? Is this allowed?
Yes. No, we can. Because read the effect and then look at the art and go, why?
Alright, I'm gonna attempt to...
Oh my god! There's no way we can show this. There's no way.
YouTube, I would like to say, I mean nothing by this image.
Oh.
I
But it
mean
doesn't
nothing...
make any sense.
I mean nothing by this image. Any interpolations are the fault of illustrator David Ho. And
David Ho!
David Ho!
I do not endorse this card art. I do not approve of it. I do not know what this card art means, but this is a thing that exists. This looks like some like weird
taking a selfie?
existential like banner art you would like paint on the side of a building or something.
Like they
No,
banned a bunch of magic cards for insensitivity. This one wasn't banned because I'm pretty sure no one knows what the point of this card is. So they're just like, I don't think it's
I want to
offensive.
I feel like this is racially insensitive somehow, but I'm not
But
sure.
I don't know what's going on because it looks like the end of the world with a giant random dragon alien thing.
Like there is a gentleman of brown skin and lots of wrinkles who's like mugging the camera, but there's also some fucking hunting horror Dreamlands bullshit
Just
creeping
so you
up
know,
on frame.
I would apologize, but I for some reason thought the guy didn't have skin.
It is a little bit of a reddish brown. He could also be
Well,
skinless.
and
I don't fucking know. He's so wrinkly.
The funny thing about this art is that it doesn't look like it was meant to be in the picture. He just sort like the cameraman actually like was like falling over and he fell into frame. Like he's
This
not
is just what happens in
photograph.
Masks of Nyarlathotep, guys. This is literally just Masks of Nyarlathotep.
No, yeah, because the other two, like the two of the overseas were theirs. So yes, well.
Evan, I can totally see that because you can do some dumb bullshit with that in Commander.
Well, yeah. So this card is actually
Yeah,
banned in
actual
Commander, but
balance-
it is not one of those cards where Magic said, "Hey, this card art is probably."
Yeah. No,
Well, I don't actually know if Invoke Prejudice is necessarily racist. It's just insensitive.
So okay, well, Invoke Prejudice is banned for double reasons. The artist that drew Invoke Prejudice is how do I put it? A Nazi,
Okay.
like
That's also
actually just a Nazi.
But there is a card that is called Jihad, which is banned because that's back in the 90s we didn't think that was a problem.
Well, Jihad and Crusade both got banned because
But so this card Flash is
it's just this
it's a
art
2-mana
confuses me
instant.
so much.
Put a creature from your hand into play. You must pay its mana cost reduced by up to 2 colorless mana if you don't sacrifice it. So
the funny thing about this card is that it's designed exactly to be played on the opponent's turn. So you summon a card. They later invented a keyword for that. I think it's called Flash, right?
It's called Flash, yeah.
It actually is called Flash. So they acknowledge this card's existence, but they choose to not reference. I should say, the best way to put it.
I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like I
this
said, I
card is
feel like there's
banned
something
as
wrong
shit.
here, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, this card is just confusing.
I don't even know if the
Oh,
second version of this card art. Let me
Chaos
show you the
Orb.
20. Let me pull up the 25th anniversary version of this card,
Carlos,
Flash.
Chaos Orb.
Now, should we show the card where you said like you play the card protector face?
So this is the 25th anniversary version from 2018.
Which
I
is
like it
still
more.
confusing.
Yeah, it's still not great. There are some weird horse riding guys with spears who look to have bald heads, and there's just like a dragon bear materializing. I think I understand what this is going for.
The concept of Flash is that the creature arrives instantly because it looks like he's like arriving from a flash
time
style,
warp.
like time warp.
and the fact that this has flavor text to explain it, no tactic transforms of battle like a well-timed carnivore, like,
Carnivore.
that makes sense. This art is still weird and esoteric, but I at least understand what the fuck is going on. This, I don't know, is this guy in the foreground supposed to be surprised that a weird Lovecraftian brain dragon is here? I don't know.
Who's
Like,
up in the
it's-
haunting
it's-
horror?
It's just straight up a thing showing up behind him, and he has not acknowledged his existence. He's just
Is
chilling.
he just turning to the camera and just be like, bro, we gonna die.
bro?
We're dead, bro.
We're fucking dying. We're dead.
Bro, we're dead.
So I
Sorry,
want to
Mark.
share my favorite bad magic art of all time in it.
Go for it.
This is a card called Stasis.
My last comment on this card, I think the Pog point would actually make this card way better.
You're
yes,
correct.
someone just put a hand pointing at it.
The soy jack point back.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I think that would actually make the card art way better because he's acknowledging the thing behind him.
Now I just need a meme of that. But no, this is my favorite bad magic art of all time. Because what is this art?
It's a stasis. It's a seesaw, bro. It's fine.
It's a balance
I remember
between
Stasis.
creativity and death.
I like the art
I know,
in like
I
a
do
stylistic
too.
sense, but yeah, it does not belong in Magic. I would
Like
agree with
this,
that. But
I
it's
can
not
I
bad
can see this
art.
in a picture book. Like this looks like a really nice picture.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, this is an old card. I assume because it says the original copyright is 93. That's the original.
Yeah, this
copyright.
is it's not alpha or beta or legends. It's the one after that.
But
Time something.
It's an
Not
old
Spiral.
school. It's an older school art. So it's like honestly, if you look at old school Yu-Gi-Oh art, like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Like hell, actually, honestly, any like hobby game like this, look at old Games Workshop art, for instance. Look at like Rogue Trader, and then look at modern 40K art. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, right?
Yeah.
But this is still fucking weird. Like, I get what it's depicting, but why is it so fucking impressionist?
I like it because I think I'd actually like to own this as a painting.
No, like this is a really good piece of art. It's just why is this magic card
It's
and
just
why
not
is it on a
contextually
card
connected.
called Stasis?
Well, I get why it's on a card called Stasis Dolls. It's a seesaw. It's literally a teeter-totter at balance.
No, I
But
get the
what does that
concept.
have to do with
This is just way high
players skipping their
concept
untap
version.
step?
No one progresses.
Well, I know that's why it's called Stasis, but like it's weird.
All I see is a sleeping man and a bondage fairy.
Yeah. Also, this is
Okay, well.
this is a very good card.
Stasis.
I mean, I see the bondage fairy too.
I
Yeah,
would
I
assume
like
so because you can just at the beginning of your upkeep you can just choose to be like, nah, fam.
Yeah, no,
I
Stasis
still
is
don't
like
like-
Stasis is a pinnacle card of blue-white strategy. Of
Yeah.
we don't actually play Magic here. We just stall.
So
We just stop you
blue,
from
the
playing
color of blue, and I believe especially
the
blue
color
white.
of no.
But blue is strongly associated with control decks in Magic, so there are variants of blue decks that are the equivalent of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like hardcore stun decks, like Mystic Mind type. You literally don't play the game anymore. Games.
Oh,
The interesting thing is
so-
that control is not unique to blue, but blue's style of control is most synonymous with what you think of as control. Red
blue,
is
blue
aggro
also
control.
because we talked about counterspell earlier. I would assume blue has the most like iconic negation type stuff.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say like every color has some form of control. With white, it's usually about health tuning and just straight up and like stopping single target.
Oh, and board nukes. White has a lot of board nukes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black.
I'll say white also has a lot of stuff to prevent untapping.
Yeah. Black
Blue
is
does,
usually
too.
just straight up death. Red is damage numbers. And green is usually about anti-artifact control.
Also, isn't like black also like extreme
Artifact,
debuffs?
anti-flying.
Well, so I can break
Okay.
down the blue archetypes because blue combines with different colors.
Yes, I will say this.
different
I have
strategies.
always loved Magic's using the 5-color ensemble and then how they like colors are supposed to be opposing or
Because-
touching.
Blue-white can best be described as no, we're not doing anything. Blue-black is no, but also fuck you. Blue-green is I'm gonna do my own weird shit over here. Blue-green is weird.
Blue
I've
green
never
just
seen blue
says,
green
I'm
stuff.
playing
Yeah,
my
blue-
own game, you do your own
Blue-green
thing.
is I'm gonna do my own thing over here in the corner. And blue-red is I'm gonna do 50 billion things and one of us is gonna explode. I don't know
One of
who.
us is dead.
Wait, you can explode yourself with blue.
If you,
red?
if
Well,
you
yeah, I mean,
remember,
red is some of Red's sub themes is damage and burn, which can include, I assume, paying your own.
And
life or cost.
one of Red's important themes, and the reason red is one of my favorite colors, is one of its themes is chaos.
I was gonna say instability.
so blue-red, if you remember Emperor's text-to-speech device, good old... What's it?
Blue red.
Yeah, blue-
Was it Zinch? Or no, Zinch would be blue black.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, blue-red is your classic. I'm going to cast a ton of instants.
And sorceries.
Okay,
Yeah.
apparently someone
It was literally
text
colored
about
red
red
and
and white, and that's about hitting ground rain trying to end the game.
Yeah, red white is I'm gonna make a small arm. Red white is I'm gonna cosplay as a Roman weeaboo. That's the best
Yeah.
way to call it.
I'm going to lead you to
Hello,
find your
I am
ass.
going to summon a large number of men, and we are going to defeat you.
Oh yes, the
Well,
Boris game.
it's not the largest. They don't spam out tokens like white-green, but white-red usually
Oh,
have
no.
higher quality tokens.
I remember
No,
I
I-
distinctly because this was a deep reach into a dark hole that the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki did, but it is one of White's themes is swarming lots of little dudes.
Yeah, I would say the concept of red white versus white green is that white green, like David said, summons like 7,001 wolf tokens. Red white summons like him 3/3 like boy tokens, like men.
Yeah, it's
Like
usually
soldier
humans.
tokens usually.
Yeah.
It's usually literally divisions. It's like you make the 1/1 soldier tokens, but you also have the 2/2 soldiers and the 4/4 angels.
Yeah, I believe because each one has a guild. I believe it's the Boris guild. or gang.
Boros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boros.
I want to bring up some more modern bad magic art because
Yeah, that's
we've been shitting on old stuff enough, and some of these new cards have answers to give me.
Do they?
What the fuck is this card art?
You have a better
I
resolution
swear to
size.
God, this person also must have done some of. I would love to do a also as another like Foolin' episode.
What?
I would love to dig up and compare Legend of the Five Rings, the living card game by Fantasy Flight, where that's all like
You want-
modern
we can do
card
that,
artists
too.
that are really good, and then look at some old school Legend of the Five
Yeah,
Rings card
this
art.
is
Hey,
like
It is
Omega.
bad. I'm
So, Omega,
fairly
when's your
certain
birth-
this artist did some L5R art back in the day.
So, Omega, you don't need to say your direct birthday, but what week is your birthday?
Well, it's the week of the same week as Christmas. I don't know if I'm gonna be here. Like it's.
Fair enough.
Remember, my birthday is sandwiched between Christmas and New Year's, so it's a rough time. We
I
might
mean,
do
mine's
Christmas in
17th,
July.
so, like,
I don't know. We can do we can do weird shit whenever we want. Which reminds
So
me, I
long as it
actually
is
need to-
Unboxing Day.
I need to bring up the poll.
Maybe
as
we should
well,
put this as
but-
an option on the poll next time of being like, just do.
Maybe we
Legend
can
of
do
Five
it as a
Rings.
joke. I don't know, but this is called Press the Advantage, by the way, is what we're looking for.
Hey, do you want to see the magic equivalent of the old lady, young woman drawing? I'd like to show you Scourge Mark. Now, is it a bicep or is it a dude raising his arm?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay. Is what?
Okay, here we go. I did in
Feels like
fact
I don't
find
know.
a good art blown up of Press the Advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this literally looks like older generation like L5R art. Like this
Oh,
is just some
that-
random samurais, bum rushing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
like, and this is this doesn't have the excuse of being new. This is from the same set as Bear Punch.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, this is from the 2010s.
So Savage Combat looks really good, and I'd actually love to have art of it as a poster. This one just seems mediocre. Like I just feel someone screaming mediocre in the distance.
No, this is like peak, like either rookie artist or peak. I have to do 50,000 pieces of art, and I'm just not going to give a shit.
I would
It's
also
not
love to
bad,
dig up. I
but
need to
it's not
double check
good.
what else he's done, but I should also dig up some infamous Genzo Man art.
Or peak, hey, this is a we just.
I'll do
need
that when we
some
do the
stuff for some
L5R
filler
episode.
cards.
Genzo is a very notorious style that if you don't know, you should look him up on the internet. It's safe for work, barely.
That's a woman, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm
which
not
one?
100% sure though.
What are we talking about? Sorry, I was talking about my own thing.
Press the advantage. I'm
I'm pretty sure that leader's supposed to be a lady from the Blown Up. Like she's got like slightly softer features and the ponytail and the
Well,
made-up lips.
yeah.
Also, most of the dudes in this set have like face paint, so that's what's making me think it's a girl.
I think it is a lady. Yeah.
She's got giant
also
hoop
wearing-
earrings.
Dude looks like a lady.
Keep in mind, again, early 2010s. So, but also let's pull up this second card you've pulled up, Dallas, because
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Scourge Mark.
Guys,
I love this art.
We don't have to.
I like the
Internet.
glowing bit, but what does this card even fucking do?
What is this card? I have a better question. What is this card of? Because I feel like no
yeah,
matter
I'm
which way
not
you
sure.
slice it, because like it looks, So I guess that's gotta be. Hold on, let me make sure I'm showing. I'm guessing this has to be the outline of the shoulder.
If you flip it, it's definitely just a bicep. Like,
Yeah, no, it's a bicep.
80 degrees.
Hold on, let me
It's-
rotate.
It's supposed to be a bicep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
that
is
makes
the
much more sense.
weirdest drawing.
Yeah.
'cause,
Okay, yeah, because you can see the guy's
it's-
hair in the.
In
Yeah.
Enchant Creature, when Scourge Mark enters the battlefield, draw a card, and Enchanted Creature gets +1/+0.
I don't know why they didn't put it at this angle instead.
Ooh, wow, that's
Also, that bicep feels like it has like something going to explode out of it.
Well, and that's why it's weird.
It's like that one guy who injected his arm with cum.
Dallas,
okay.
why did you even say those words to me?
Why
Why
did
did you
tell me
speak this to
What
me
is-
out loud?
Yeah,
Look it up.
exactly.
This is a real story.
I don't want
Don't
to know,
look it up.
Dallas.
Hey,
I
we
say
did.
don't look it up.
He did it to treat his muscle pains. I don't
By the
know
way,
why he thought that would
I've been
do
looking this
anything.
up, but I did want to double check some stuff about the multicolors because the color combos was a funny theme of Strixhaven actually. Like the different colleges have different color combos. One of which is red blue, by the way. That's the
I remember a thing of. I know there's like a tri-colored thing. It's like I think
believe,
it's white,
anyway.
black, green.
Cards
was
and
like-
wedges.
I think it's like a lady that like
shards and
basically
Tarkir.
Is there like I think there's like a commander like or
White, black, green is, I believe, Tarkir.
Because I know there's a lady that basically insta kills you because she has like ultimate poison or something.
That's Phage the Untouchable, and that's just a black card.
So, the blue-red college is Prismari. They were founded by a dragon and they use elementals, and so they do. They're apparently the theater kids of Magic. I assume they must be a bard subclass.
Speaking of which,
the major cases of the colors through Magic is that initially like they didn't make many like opposite combinations, but you ended up with like the opposing colors like white, black, green, blue, red. Then we went further into shards, which are two touching colors and one opposing color. Then we went to.
So we're literally doing like color matrix shit.
Yeah. Then it was Tarkir, which is 3 touching colors, if I remember.
Yeah. Those are called triome, where you have 3 colors. Or no. I'm looking at them right now and trying to piece them together.
Yeah. It was the Guilds of Ravnica. Then it was Eventide, which was basically the flips the same thing.
Yeah.
Then there were Shards of Alara.
Like and like there's like 4 different sections of them, but like they're all basically the same thing of like shards, families, wedges, triomes.
Yeah. And there's actually Magic has a lot of really interesting lore. I love Magic lore.
Yeah.
I really wish
fairly recently they introduced there's no like name for it, but there are 5 cards that are each a 4-color combination, and they're all Nephilim cards. So that's kind of like the concept of those 4 combinations, and like they're all like angels of a concept. So like chaos is everything but white, aggression is everything but blue, altruism is everything but black, growth is everything but red, and artifice is everything but green.
So basically, they're cards defined by what they lack.
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense. This is basically, like, I was looking this up, this is literally how color theory and the color wheel works. Like, you have complementary colors, which are 2 opposites. Monochromatic is just monochromatic. Analogous is the 2 neighboring colors. Triadics, tetradics, etc.
Speaking of Phage, Phage actually features in the next card art I was going to bring up.
Oh, okay.
So that is a segue I can have.
Maybe with it.
This is SWAT.
This is very funny to me.
I know, it's hilarious. This is why she's the untouchable.
Yeah. Hits him so hard.
Wait, no, I'm fairly certain she's just, if you touch her, you melt. It's like Rogue, but worse.
What is Phage's whole thing? Is she just like a
Phage is one of the funniest cards in all of Magic, because she has the effect where if she hits your opponent, they lose the game. But she also has the much funnier and more hilariously abusable effect of if you summon this monster from anywhere but your hand, you instantly lose the game. There are many decks that are literally force your opponent to summon your Phage and win that way.
So is the bit how you summon her and then she's just very picky where she'll slap you or slap the opponent?
Well, no, that's just Magic players breaking a Magic again.
No, but I'm saying like how it works is that if you don't summon her from.
Well, I assume if you don't summon her, you have to from your hand. You have to touch her.
Right, because you have to res her from the grave,
and then you die.
Yeah.
Well, and
I love this art because it's so fucking stupid.
There are plenty of weird cards that are broken in weird ways. Like there is another infamous card called One with Nothing. I think it's a 1 black mana, which is discard your entire hand. Nothing else. That's the start and end of the effect.
So, just to ask, now, is there any lore about Phage of like why the fuck she's this or no?
I didn't read the Scourge books.
I was about to say, I'm sure she's been around long enough. There's
she has like a whole
book
about. There's a whole book series, or she's a character in that.
She's a legend. So legendary characters are usually what they used to mean when they stopped writing the books. Legendary characters are generally important characters in that cycle's book series. So she was a legendary character in the Scourge, Onslaught, and I can't remember what the Legion block. Which is also where the slivers are from.
Oh fuck those things.
Good
'Cause
old
it's like,
slivers.
that's like a lost keyword.
Oh
where
yeah,
it's like,
the real name is Jess.
aren't slivers illegal to play most
No.
of the time?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, isn't the whole thing of a sliver is that you can't touch a sliver with other slivers?
No.
No.
Like
Oh.
slivers were very good in standard, but in like modern formats, they're not nearly as broken.
When I played Magic, then someone lied to me when they were playing the sliver deck against me, where it's like I couldn't do anything with it because I thought you couldn't active sliver monster-wise.
That's no. That
So you're
that
playing-
was just a person just fucked you.
Yeah, you were playing with a cheater.
Yeah, that was just cheating.
What's the sliver keyword do?
I mean, there's probably a sliver that gives Sliver Shroud, which is that effect. But slivers are basically a Solidarity the deck.
Yes.
When you summon them, they give all of the slivers their effect.
Oh, okay.
So there is a sliver that gives Shroud, so maybe that's what happened.
I feel like
Like,
even with flying.
I mean-
it was.
I hate to say it, but apparently cheating is not uncommon to Magic players.
I mean, it's not uncommon to cardboard Yu-Gi-Oh players either.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've been swindled in both.
It's not uncommon
Well,
to people.
I'll be
It's just
honest,
that in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's embarrassing because you're playing for literally nothing.
That's true. In Magic, at least, there's stakes.
Yeah.
No, and
I'll be-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a literal children's card game for nothing, other than clout. So people who
Okay,
cheat to win
I
at
brought this
Yu-Gi-Oh!
art up
are
because
the baby tears.
this art looks unfinished to other people too, right? Like, it's not just me. Like, this art literally looks unfinished.
Yeah, maybe.
Hold on, I'm trying to read the name
You're like
of this
finding a blown up version.
Even Trooper.
Aven, okay. Because I'm like, what the fuck am...
Yeah, what is it called?
'cause I haven't...
The blown up version's funnier.
Yeah, no, I found it. This is great. Okay. So,
I regret none of this now.
from a small distance, this looks a little blurry, but when you blow this up, it's just a Birdman. He's having a great time. Why the fuck is the there's a literal off-white background that is the exact same color as the cloud cutout, and this rising
so
sun ass
bad.
shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
It looks like a nation's flag from a fantasy.
It's like, this is a perfectly decent art that is made entirely weird due to its background.
Yeah, it's like no background.
Well, yeah, I will say so. The definitely the background art looks like a flag, but this Birdman is way too detailed. Like flags are usually highly stylized, so like this guy, it looks like a drawing of a Birdman. It looks like somebody was trying to take a picture of the setting sun or something, and a fucking Birdman jumped in the way and just absolutely bombed the shot. And I don't know what the fuck is happening. Also, his wing placement is really weird. Like, what's going on
it's a
here?
weird angle-ish.
Like, look at this curve
this,
into his head.
This Common Rider ass card.
By the way, this
Oh
is
my
just a
God.
flying boy.
Now I'm excited.
Also, I
to
think
see
this
what
card
is.
sucks, actually.
Oh, you don't. Oh no, yeah, it's bad.
Aven Trooper.
It's very bad.
It's a 1/1 with flying that costs like 4 mana.
Discard a card from your hand, gain plus
That
1
costs,
plus
it
2.
costs 3, which is like hard because
Yeah.
it costs like half the cost.
Yeah, no, this guy sucks.
Okay.
He's bad.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
real bad.
That is
Way too
aggressively bad.
I hate this card so much. I understand if other people don't hate this card. I don't think this art's bad, but I do, and I made this list, so
All listicles are. Okay.
No, this asshole.
There's a part of this that immediately my face is drawn to. Hold on, I'm gonna look at this
is
again.
it,
Just
is it
show
the
the-
rainbow sword?
No,
Just show
actually,
just show the whole art.
Is
Show
it the
whole card.
poofy white thing?
no, actually, it's his facicles.
Oh,
now
his
that
face is
violated
also
the
bad
law.
too.
Now that I've
Unicorn
seen this
of
blown the
Final
fuck up,
Fairfield.
though, hold
Your
on.
stolen goods are now forfeit.
That's also true, but like, okay, all right, you were correct, Dallas. There's some issues
Wow.
here.
Very chrome. Also, I just like why does he have a blowtorch?
This looks like
So-
how you get.
What the fuck is happening here? He's got a sword that has some fucking nibbles taken out of it that spit hot fire. He has like a shiny ab armor and arm armor. He's got like a
Face.
white
He has a Kamen Rider helmet.
And he's got his his dude-ass looking dude face just poking out. Like
I think the best part of this art is that the armor and background
It's made of liquid.
are a different style. That face is like pulled straight out of like an Oblivion-ass video game.
Yeah.
And just like pasted into the hole where it should be.
Looks so much bigger than what should be allowed for his body.
And this card is from 2018, by the way.
Yeah, no. I was originally like pulling up some old Magic art, and I'm like, I haven't checked it on Magic. How bad is new Magic art? Oh no, there's still some stinkers.
No, yeah, because I remember having this guy played against me.
So we were talking about red-white cards, right?
Yeah, there's a red-white card.
Yeah.
What I want to say, skill-wise, like in terms of technique, this is more advanced than some old-ass cards like Aven Trooper we just looked at. Compositionally, I mean, it's like looking at modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? Like, obviously the tech to make those cards has gotten better. The like editing and the composition and stuff has not necessarily gotten better. Like, this guy had all this chrome is like this guy's equivalent of Konami orbs. Why is he so chrome?
He looks like he's just like, I'll be real. He looks like he got dipped in like liquid metal.
Yeah, no. Somebody used some high speculum paints on this guy.
So I literally can't. Omega, I'm sorry. I literally can't find blown up art for this one.
Can we
But
talk about the effect of this guy, or nah?
do you want to talk about Tajik's effect?
As you like look up your.
So I would say.
What the fuck is a mentor?
Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with less power. So he makes your other guys big. That seems to fit the themes. I assume this guy was intended for commander stuff because he's got multiple colors on it.
No, he's just from a set. He's from Ravnica.
Okay, so they just straight up do that.
I mean, he's a good commander card.
Because at least what I don't know a lot about Commander, but what I've learned to associate with it is the clearly delineated multiple colors of mana.
Well, the reason that is because in Commander format, you can only play the colors of what your commander is.
Yeah.
So when they invented Commander as an official format, they started designing Commander cards that had weird color combinations to allow you to do stupid fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I've seen him in Commander decks, but he's not the commander. He's just there as a.
I mean, if you make a red-white commander deck, I assume this guy is good in it.
Yes.
He is a human man. Subtypes in Magic are often a lot more clear than Yu-Gi-Oh, which only has so many. This is Tajik, a human soldier, clearly.
Can't remember their name, but the one I played was like a red-white commander that basically said, "Hey, when this lady attacks, just take a creature from your hand, and it's also tapped and attacking as well."
I want to bring up that.
Fuck you.
Also, I don't know this is rare for Magic cards, but he also has a way basically to keep himself alive at all times.
First Strike is not uncommon at all.
No, I meant
non-combat
non-combat damage to other creatures.
That's probably the reason he's played, honestly. His other two effects
you can't
are
lightning bolt him. You can't lightning bolt him and go.
His other two cards are dog. Well, it's not even that he has it, because him having it is not uncommon for Magic cards at all.
Yeah.
It's that he gives it to all creatures.
That's
why he's good. Yeah. Like, if it wasn't for that effect, this card would literally be dog water.
I mean,
yeah.
It's
well, I mean, he can still be blown up though.
Yeah, but there are better hasters for 3 mana.
Okay.
Yeah,
Particularly for a multicolor card.
Fair enough.
Like, here's the thing: Commander is a different format where the less mana a card is, usually it's worse. Because the object of Commander is to play the big, stupid, dumb cards that are usually not playable in Modern or
Fair
Standard.
enough.
Yeah, it's to
like cards like Scrambleverse and Time Seize.
Whereas
like
the goal of Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster is to make your opponent murder you. When you declare moral victory, when they pull their gun and gat you at the table because your Deckmaster is last warrior from another planet.
The 2 ways I've seen Commander win, or 3 ways I've seen Commander win is you go against the meta and play a really weird aggro deck and try and win, but those usually fail. You play big, stupid cards that have effects that are so game-breakingly good that you win the game, or you play infinite combos that have 15 pieces that need like 800 mana and are infeasible in standard games.
So Dallas, what do you play?
No, don't distract Dallas. I need him to give me the name of the next card.
You're like, so you put it combos. Okay.
Okay, so the next one is called Aerial Formation, and I literally only have the card art for it. Because it is a nothing burger of a card, so...
Go for it.
It makes sense. But the way this card is drawn bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah, I can understand.
Well, luckily, Dallas, I found a blown up here.
Oh, this is from
Found a
the.
slightly larger.
This is from the Greek...
I was gonna say this is from the Greek set.
This is from Omega's fanboy set, if you ever played Magic.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
not
was gonna
entirely true. I think Kamigawa also would be...
Yeah,
I could see
Neon
myself
Dynasty.
playing the Neon one, yes.
That's true. The Neon Kamigawa is also your schmack. But this is literally like, for example, one of the sets is literally called A Journey to Nyx.
This
Yeah,
looks like
I
a Spartan
was
Viking
actually
fighting like
ended up playing a little bit for that because that was right when I got out of boot camp, and so I was in a gigantic dormitory with a bunch of other Navy personnel that had a bunch of money suddenly and nothing better to do.
So we all spent on Magic card.
That's honestly, I've heard that's not that uncommon with military personnel. Is whether you're on deployment or just you're bunked up on base, you have nothing to do with your time other than just make work. So
yeah, no.
you end up with a lot of hobby shit.
But yeah,
I have heard of people playing like Warhammer with just rocks in the middle of the desert in Iraq because you have time to kill.
Yeah, no.
All you need is the rule book.
When I was in MWR, we were organizing bi-weekly, not quite tournament. Well, I guess tournaments because we had MWR gifts to give out for them for Magic.
Had bi-weekly local.
But yeah, so this there's some things about this art. Yes, I get what they're going for, right? Like the idea is this formation of hoplite spearmen can stand on air. Cool.
Yep.
What is with this weird sea giant in the back and just being freaked the fuck out about this?
I think they're like it's like a CP. I figured the CP.
But they're not
like,
attacking him because they're all facing the other direction.
Yeah, no, they're not pointed at him. What I'm getting honestly is, I mean, one of the guys in the back is, but like the perspective of this is fucked. Like I think the artist wanted to make sure you could understand that they're like stepping off a cliff over the ocean to fight something. But it just makes the perspective weird because like a couple of guys in the background in the distant area, like this guy back here and this guy back here, you can see the back of their helmets. They're actually faced. What the fuck are these guys in the foreground doing? I don't know.
I think it's a thing where it's like they're covering. It's like a circle. Maybe it's a circular thing. It's not showing all of it. Where it's like they're all covered.
It's still, but because of the context of like we can see clearly what the only threat, at least that we can see in the card is. It's just like I get the artist was going for. They wanted to actually show off their cool design that they probably did a lot of research for, because some of this is definitely very Hellenistically styled. Well, there's a couple of... They're all wearing different kinds of helmets, which is not technically what you do, but you're flexing. You're an artist. I get it. You looked up a shitload of references. I understand. But they wanted to show off their card art, but that just means that, like, you've got guys who are just showing off to camera. They're just posing for effect. But yeah, it's just some space guys.
But yeah, by the way, this card is interesting in the way that it is both good and bad. So its effect is basically it has an effect called Strive, which is it can target any number of cards, but it costs 3 mana more for every card beyond the first. Paying for this card's Strive effect is awful, but just 1 mana for giving 1 creature 1/1 and flying is decent enough that it was played. Just never for the alt effect.
Also, yes, for you're asking in chat, this is an instant technically.
Yeah, it's an instant. It's an instant.
So this is not a creature. This is just whatever you do does an aerial formation.
But now I think we need to get back.
I will say though, how common is flying with blue?
Fairly common.
Okay.
Like it's white and blue are the flying colors, basically.
Yeah, and typically blue's flying creatures are kind of weenier.
Yeah, blue is the home of like birds and drakes and like flying merfolk and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
merfolk, perfectly logical.
Whereas white is the color angels. White has angels out the ass.
Oh yeah, no. When I think of white flying, I think of large angel ladies with many keywords.
Or griffins.
Well, and sometimes you end up
Or
with red
cats.
players that are goblins who have crafted a balloon.
Yeah, Goblin balloon. But now I want to get back to one of my favorite magic blocks of all time.
All right.
Zendikar block.
Ooh, Zendikar.
Because at first it was like, oh, it's this cool floating city with all these weird artifacts. I wonder what the theme of this set's gonna be. And then, spoilers, it was Cthulhu.
No, no.
As you do.
That guy's not having a good time. Having a bad
This
time.
card is Whispers of Emrakul. 2 mana, sorcery, black, of course. Target opponent discards a card at random. If there are 4 more card types among the cards in your graveyard, they discard 2 cards at random instead, and it has the flavor text, your thoughts are no longer your own.
So, I have a weird meme text for this. When stabbing in the head didn't do the job.
I mean, how you know that's the head?
What do
What
you
is
thought
the head?
stabbing in the
Guts.
head would work?
Do you want to see do you want to see what the full
By the way, I
body
wanna
of
throw
this
out-
looks
I think
like?
it's. I think.
I-
I think
maybe,
it's funnily
I'm
enough
not
that
sure.
Dallas, by the way, started reading the effect before I could even like pull up the card art.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm like knee deep in Google Images tabs.
But yeah, like, this guy's just not having a good time.
Well, no, he's getting very bad touched by something.
Show you Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn.
Oh yeah, good old Emrakul.
He tried to kill it. It didn't work.
They still didn't kill it, actually.
Yeah, Emrakul is a fucker.
No, I meant in the art. He tried to kill this thing, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this card art before. I think we've talked about this.
Look at that fucking symbol for it though.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. That thing looks terrifying. In like a majestic way.
Yeah. They sealed it inside of a moon.
Look at that second effect though. That second sentence.
So what you're saying is they did the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 it.
Before he
No,
did it, yes.
No. This was before 14. So, fun fact, a girl from Kamigawa went to Innistrad to seal this monster from Zendikar.
A lot of
And
things
she did
happen.
it by turning into a moon and then imprisoning it.
That's rough,
That
buddy.
sucks for her.
Yes, no. No one was
Put it-
dating her, but she literally turned into the moon.
She put the thing inside of her and sealed it away.
I also think her
That
name was
sucks.
literally Tsukio.
Oh my god.
Magic is not subtle in its writing.
I mean, before that, it kind of was. Before the
It was
moon thing
quite so
happened.
small.
Emrakul is a crazy girl.
Well, no, Emrakul is distinctly female,
Yeah,
I believe.
but I just like seeing that in the text
Why?
chat.
What?
By
Then
the
why
way,
does
I
it
want to
have a
throw this out
gender?
there. This is a 15-15 for 15.
So how did
Yes.
you get that much mana? Do you not usually
Playing
get mana?
Commander.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say it doesn't have like some kind of something to reduce its cost.
The other thing with Zendikar is that there were things called Eldrazi tokens, which
Yes.
could be used to sacrifice themselves to give you mana.
Like,
Oh, okay.
as far as I remember, this card was decent in actual Zendikar Standard, but not amazing. It was broken in Commander.
Because
like-
the games went long.
The
Well,
main
and also,
thing-
to put this in perspective, let me read the whole effect. Like, it's not just a 15-15 for 15.
Oh, it's
um,
disgusting.
This is a legendary
Yeah.
creature. First of all, this spell can't be countered. When you cast this spell, take an extra turn after this one, so you
You
get
spend all
to
your
Time
mana.
Twister.
So your mana.
This monster has flying, protection from colored spells, and I don't know what the fuck Annihilator 6 is, but I assume it's bad.
Annihilator 6 is when it attacks, the person who's being attacked has to like lose
Yeah.
6 permanents on that
Sacrifice 6
field.
permanent cards.
Which
Yes.
are almost definitely going to be lands by the time this card attacks.
And then when Emrakul the Aeon's Torn is put into the graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library.
So it
So
comes
even
back.
if you pop it, this
Yeah.
just recycles your graveyard.
No, so one of the funniest things decks this card was a part of was a mutual mill deck, because if you have this card in your deck, you cannot be milled.
Yeah.
This is
Ah, yes,
terrifying.
Because the
mutual
moment
milling,
it gets
but
milled,
only
it just
for you.
goes back.
It's
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
By the way, also, not the only version of Emrakul.
Yes.
I don't know what the text is because it's I've
The
only looking at
Promised
it.
End.
But,
That one's the one from Innistrad. That was Emerald Cool 2 Electric.
have the
I can
art.
read that one. It is
Okay.
one less for each card type among cards in graveyard. And when you cast Emrakul, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
what? Wait, what?
Oh my
How?
god!
Turn.
Holy shit!
After that turn, the player takes an extra turn.
Okay,
Wait,
okay.
what?
So they
you
get their
control your
turn,
opponent's turn?
but
Yeah.
you get to control them.
I mean, that is not a unique effect to Promised End. There's a Mindslaver, a card in Mirrodin, which is
Well,
literally...
so that's the other thing that's interesting about Magic. One, Magic has always been fairly wiggly about.
Magic has some wacky cards.
Magic's always been fairly open about the fact that it can be multiplayer. Like Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't, other than tag duels, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't really have any multiplayer formats. It's always 1v1.
It's funny how the way Emrakul is worded in a competitive sense, you take 3 turns in a row. Because you take your turn, you get your opponent's turn, you make him pass, do nothing. Or use up all their mana to do bullshit. And then you go
Or
again.
Well,
you make
no,
the lightning bolt themselves.
No. It did say you take your opponent's turn, but then they get another turn afterwards.
Oh, I thought... Okay.
No.
So basically,
It's-
you can
The
you
targeted
use all their
player
mana.
then gets an extra turn, but
So
they
basically,
won't be able
you
to
can
do
use all-
anything because
Use all their mana to you can use all their mana to blow up their own shit.
Or if
but
they're playing a black-white deck, you sacrifice all of their permanents and just make them have nothing.
Well, yeah, but like, to be fair, if it's another turn, they get to untap all that shit anyway, so there's no point spending everything.
Yeah, but if you can sacrifice it or waste
Yes,
cards in their hand.
I know, I was
Or,
responding to Alex.
make incredibly unfavorable trades for them.
Yeah.
Like, have a bunch of their guys attack so that you can.
But the
block
next
them.
Eldrazi card I want to talk about is one of my favorite arts in all of Magic, and it's going to make people squick. And it's called Transgress the Mind.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
I'm not.
I think I've seen
Oh, yeah, that's like Gaslight. Holy shit!
Okay, I could get this one.
this one. Maybe I've seen another printing of it.
Like,
That
that
sounds
was,
familiar, though.
so why do you
It's,
like?
it's
So-
the Eldrazi Heimlich maneuver.
So Dallas, this is one of your favorite cards, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you do like really, you do work really fucked up body horror stuff, so I understand.
No,
Like,
yeah.
it's not like that fucked up, but like, it's just like, ugh.
Fatality.
Well,
Oh, now okay, it's going to the face. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Ugh.
Yeah,
it's
no,
going through the head.
Yeah.
Putting a new meaning to take that to your back face.
Oh, it's Tamio the Moon Sage. Okay. It wasn't as on the nose as I thought. She's just a moon person.
Wait. Oh wait, the Eldrazi sealed herself away in the moon. The fuck?
No, so Tamio sealed Emrakul in the moon by making herself the moon. It's weird.
That still sucks.
Yeah, the story of Innistrad 2 is weird.
Innistrad 2. Everything sucks.
Well, no, Innistrad 1, everything... Innistrad is basically the gothic horror plane.
Fair
So
enough.
it always sucked. It's just, the second time it was, what if the gothic horror plane got invaded by Cthulhu?
So I want to bring up how I feel like I could see a scene like this literally happen in a Call of Cthulhu game where a creature just melds to a person's face and like rips their head apart.
Well, I'm not sure that Eldrazi is being physical, because it's called Transgress the Mind.
Oh, so it might just be.
So I think it's
you're
reaching...
feeling
Well,
mentally.
I always interpreted it as it's reaching into its mind.
The metaphor. It's just a very
Oh,
painful metaphor.
So
Well, I mean-
what do you do when you transgress the mind?
What do you do with drunkens?
I also actually I can look at
This
it.
guy's
I was about to
face
say
being ripped
I would like to say this card. Oh, actually, this card's very interesting because it is a very funny keyword. But to activate the card, you pay a black mana.
Yes.
Funnily enough, it is the keyword devoid, which means it's actually colorless, which is
Yes.
actually very
Yes.
interesting. But what I was going to say was, I feel like there's a coin flip on whether this is a blue or a black card, or costs blue or black mana, I should say.
I mean,
but
yeah,
I'm looking at it. It says target player reveals his or her hand. You can choose a card from it with a converted mana cost of 3 or greater. Exile that card.
Yeah, that seems like a blue-black kind of thing.
Fear of the
It
unknown
might-
can
it
be a
might have
wonderful,
both. It
innocent
might
thing,
have-
relatively speaking.
It might have one of those manas that can be paid with by either.
I'm
No,
surprised we
it's-
haven't.
Well,
It's
it's
black.
2 mana. It's black,
Ah.
colorless.
But
So
it is a
okay.
colorless card.
But yeah, but the
You know,
card
that was
inherently
the
has
fact-
no color.
Oh,
It's had some
okay.
phage. I'm surprised we haven't seen any Death Touch creatures here.
I mean, the important thing is it has to be colorless because so it can interact with a Eldrazi card because they usually have protection from colored cards.
Show a 3-card set that is my favorite Eldrazi art, because it tells a story.
Oh boy.
A very sad and fucked up story, but a story
no.
nonetheless.
like most stories.
So in Innistrad, there were 3 angel sisters.
Oh no.
Avacyn, Bruna, and Giela.
Which
Giela?
became a zombie angel.
So things didn't work out very well for Bruna or Giela.
Also very strong.
Oh yeah, no, I knew people who ran this.
Priscilla is a... they basically got fused. They got taken over by the Eldrazi, and then fused into a Cthulhu abomination. Oh, sorry, it's Sigarda, Bruna, and Giela. Avacyn is a angel in Innistrad, but she's not one of the 3 sisters.
So I just noticed a thing.
A very
angels
interesting
all over.
Valkyrie vibes, but
Why?
also
I just noticed a
Cthulhu
weird
stuff.
thing. Are they called horrors because the meld technique is always initially part of them, regardless?
Well, no, they're being possessed by Emrakul.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
they're
Look
already
at-
converted. You can see in the card.
Look
They've
at
already got
Gela, you can
tentacles.
see the tentacles in the
Well,
wings.
if you listen to read their card text, which I love, is for Bruna it is she now only sees Emrakul's visions, and for Gisela it is she now only hears Emrakul's murmurs.
Yeah, that's sad.
So,
And then-
how does melding work? Because it seems like this is
It's a weird
fusion
mechanic.
monster.
Yeah, so to meld cards, both of them, if at the beginning of your end step, if you own and control, you have to own and control them.
Yep.
You can exile them and then meld them from out of the game state into Priscilla.
Yeah, it says so on Gela's effect.
I will say, I think it's interesting how they purposely made the card text clear so you could see how deep it goes. Because fuck,
Yeah, no.
it's the voice of nightmares.
No, Sigarda is the Sigarda Bruna. Look, bad things happen to basically everyone. All of the angels in Innistrad get completely fucked, other than Sigarda, because Bruna and Gisela, this happens, and then Avacyn goes all crazy. I must purge everything
I mean,
in
after seeing
holy
that,
fire.
after seeing that happen to your sisters, I
But
understand.
like she goes into other planes and starts being like, "I must
Okay, that's
purge
where
this
the
plane in
problem-
holy fire."
That's
That's
the
the
other
problem.
Angel X.
It's
But yeah, no, I
Yeah,
mean,
Gala
it's
scratched himself and
you're
wasn't that
also. I mean, we're dealing with a plane called Innistrad, which is like that's got the same. It's got an inn like Innsmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strahd
It's-
sounds a
it's-
lot like the Vampire Lord Strahd from
yeah.
Ravenloft.
Spoiler: the black monsters from this set are mostly vampires.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
even without the tentacle sub theme, if you told me, "Yo, there's this set called Innistrad," I would be like, "This sounds vaguely Lovecraftian and Germanic. Is it about like eldritch horrors or
I
vampires?"
mean, it's
or Lich
mostly
Kings?
gothic Victorian horror. It's just they also had the Zendikar set with the Eldrazi, and they're like, gothic horror transitions to Cthulhu horror very well.
I mean,
What
yeah,
if we just had them
the
invade?
Weird Stories pulp horror of the 20s is basically like the continuation from the classic gothic horror.
It's essentially just like, here's this horror being invaded by a different kind of horror, and you're like, oh fuck.
Because
mixing too well.
I believe Emrakul is one of the only beings to be able to planeswalk without a spark.
Because that's a thing, yes.
Those are words you have said. Yes.
Basically,
Spark is
that-
what makes you a planeswalker. It's what it's
Yeah.
the thing in your heart that lets
I-
you plane shift.
Gotcha.
And then I believe one of our favorite boys in Magic lore, the Evil Dragon Man, stole one and just said, fuck
Yes.
you guys.
No, Nicobolus was really jealous of Planeswalker, so he fucking murdered a bunch of them and stole their sparks.
Why didn't he just only need one, or why did he need multiple?
Yeah, but he's like the villain of Magic.
Okay, so he's
mad.
mad.
He's mad. Is I think
Yeah,
the short version. It sounds like Dallas said. Well, so he was jealous of planeswalkers and killed a shitload of them. I'm like, yeah, okay, so he mad.
Well, so his fun fact: him and his brothers are what. So Commander used to be called EDH.
Yes,
which is
EDH.
Elder Dragon Highlander, which are the 5 dragons, one of which is Nicobolus.
And
The
guys,
others
I
are
want to
much-
throw this out there. If you can't understand why it's not the official version is not called Highlander, remember why it's called Highlander. There can be only one. It's a literal reference to a franchise that Wizards of the Coast doesn't own. I've heard some people complain about that, but like it's fucking. Listen, if fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure localization has to change the names of like concepts like Enigma and shit to Mysterioso or whatever the fuck that guy is called.
Steel.
Dan of like you have to flip so Steely Dan becomes Dan of Steel. Like, you got like there's no way you can do something called Highlander in a card game.
Oh yeah, Brain Maggot.
Okay.
I had that card.
Yeah, this is an FSM promo, or FNM rather.
All
No,
let's
I just
pull
had a
that card.
black-white enchantment deck.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Interesting. That is a different card art I'm seeing. Where is the?
Well, yeah, this is the FNM promo.
Yeah, I'll.
Other one is still gross, but a lot less gross.
Yeah, I think I gotta grab this version you've linked, Dallas.
I mean, at least this one looks like it's a Brain Maggot made of space magic. Oh, Eldritch space magic.
Yeah.
You see enchantment, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
This is an insect, by the way, in case you forgot.
Which is actually not that common of a type in Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed that's like a dead person's ear.
Oh, I don't think
How
they're
you know
dead.
They're dead.
There. I think they
Brain
want to be dead.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I think they want to be dead.
Oh,
Well, if
almost
you read the card,
assuredly.
it's a representation of the player.
Yeah.
Oh no.
When
Yeah,
Brain
no,
Maggot
that-
enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand, and you choose a non-land card from it, exile, until Brain Maggot leaves the field.
Someone rips it out.
Hand
You
ripping.
basically just be like, hey, that's an Emrakul right there. Nope.
Hand ripping is way less overpowered in Magic than in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, because
Just
a lot
the
of
resource system.
a lot of your hand rips will say specifically whether or not you can target land.
Yeah, this explicitly
hey.
says non-land, so it can't be that busted.
Yeah. The other thing too is there's a good number of hand rips like Brain Maggot here that are only temporary.
Yeah, it's a 1/1 creature.
Usually, a lot of the low-cost reveal cards are temporary.
It's
Yeah.
also.
Usually
I mean,
for-
I would say
at least
in
if you read your
Yu-Gi-Oh,
hand.
this card would still be really fucking rad. Like, even if it was like a 0 attack, 0 defense, like level 1 insect. When this
I
card
mean,
is
we-
summoned, look at
we
your opponent's
kind
hand, exile 1 card.
We kind
You know,
of
banish
had
a
this card in Trap Dust Shoot.
No, not
Kind
really,
of.
because Trap Dust Shoot sends, and then it's in the graveyard.
No, we have this
Yeah.
card. It's called Ancient Telescope. No.
No, Loth, the actual comparison for a card that does the same thing is Light Force Sword, which randomly
Yeah.
banishes a card in your opponent's hand.
It's just like, yeah. I
But
want to show one of my...
this card in Yu-Gi-Oh would still be good because it's got a key phrase where your opponent has to show you their hand and then you get to pick. So it's not
Hey,
randomized.
you-
And hand knowledge in Yu-Gi-Oh is very powerful.
You want to see, you want to know why I think Magic is way more meta than Yu-Gi-Oh?
I mean,
I don't know
Yu-Gi-Oh
if
has
you do.
you know how
The break-
Yu-Gi-Oh has Prohibition? This is Magic's Prohibition.
I was gonna say the Brain Slug wasn't enough.
I sorry. When I tuned to the stream and Omega put a brain slug, I thought that was prohibition.
that looks like the
No,
most
I just put the other
terrifying.
art for.
That's the most
for Brain Maggot.
terrifying surgery thing you ever want to wake up to ever.
Welcome
Yeah.
to clown surgery.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Rakdos, one of my favorite all-time
Oh,
Magic themes of
Fucking Rakdos.
what if we combined demons, blood magic, and the circus?
That feels like that mixes well pretty good in a terrifying way. Just like
Yeah, that's Rakdos for you.
Circus.
If I remember correctly, their colors are red, black, something else.
They're just red-black.
Okay.
So I assume they're not gonna do things. I assume like they're gonna rip you apart and use your blood for magic.
So I'll tell you the card effect. Wait, does Omega have it up on screen?
Yeah, it's on screen.
Okay. So Slaughter Games cannot be countered by spells or abilities. Name a non-land card. Name a non-land card. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library.
Damn.
Also,
Sorry about
that was
interrupting
the
you.
stream.
Because Axe said this is the scariest surgery ever, I had to pull up Ojama Simulation and just be like, "Are you sure about that?"
I mean, they're equivalent.
I saw the yellow Java coming in from the side. I'm sorry.
I mean, those are. I mean, like, they're like it's green and purple Java, so like he'll be fine tomorrow.
Will he?
I mean, yes, because he has to do painful decision to save them.
Or is this after painful decision?
That's after painful decision.
Yeah,
Is
this
it
comes
revenge?
after.
Well, keep in mind
Revenge.
what Ojama Simulation does. We'll eventually do the Ojama fail portrayal, and we'll fucking die. We'll be dead.
Yeah.
Java killed the hurricane.
But that's so that you can play Ojama XYZ or Ojama, not Ojama Xyz, Ojama XYZ or Ojama Armed Dragon.
Yeah.
Also, to answer Axe, this isn't the most painful magic surgery either. This
Oh, no.
is the most painful magic surgery.
Oh, and Dallas had a thing for that.
Oh yeah, no.
Thought Scour.
Yeah.
I love this card.
So I think I've seen that in Wolfenstein. That I feel like it's actually straight up a Wolfenstein, but fuck, we're fucky.
It's the thing from Dead Space 2. Don't
Well,
fuck up
here's
the
the thing.
laser.
If you know what's behind that man is not safe because I believe that behind him is Jingataxis.
What is
Oh
that
no,
thing?
not Jingataxis!
What are these
Gesundheit.
words you were saying? Please tell.
Gesundheit
So
there, Dallas.
Jingataxis is a Phyrexian.
I've heard. So I've heard those are the bad guys for like the longest time.
They are. They're like
Right.
Cthulhu, but made of machine. Like, what if Cthulhu was the Borg, basically?
Oh, they're Borg Cthulhu's. Oh no.
Yeah, the Phyrexian are Borg Cthulhu. They're like they're all made of machines, but they're like eldritch horror abominations. Jingataxis is one of the most rude cards ever. At the beginning of Jingataxis' effect is a flash, so it can be played at instant speed. At the beginning of your end step, draw 7 cards. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7.
It also costs
And-
10 mana, but by that point, you're probably already winning the game.
Also, I want to throw this out there. This is Jin Gitaxis Core Augur, a legendary creation Praetor.
Yes, the Phyrexian Praetors.
So like he's like top of the food chain,
Elishnorn-
right?
Elishnorn is the leader. Jingataxis is like the worm tongue. Oh god, what's the fucking?
I also
black
love
one
its
again?
flavor text.
Spider
It is not a.
Lady?
Wait, hold on. I have to say this in a villainy voice. It is not a goal, but a process. The process of creating the perfect Phyrexia.
Yeah. So remember when I said Mirrodin 2 had a bad second half for Mirrodin?
Yep. Mhm.
Is this why?
So the set names for Mirrodin 2 are Scars of Mirrodin, Battle for Mirrodin, New Phyrexia.
Ah, fuck. Oh no.
That tells you what happens in that
Oh, no.
storyline.
Yep.
Yeah, and also.
Also,
as
by
a
the
fun-
though, I do want to throw this out there. Both Jin Kataxis and Mind Augur are blue cards, which is what led to my earlier question about Transgress the Mind. Because, listen,
So
So, no, what I was gonna
how many?
say,
How many? Oh yeah. go,
Wait,
go,
what
go.
last say?
for people who don't understand how Magic normally plays, you have 7 cards in your hand maximum. He just says you don't have a hand.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he
it's
basically
like
says
the
discard
exact same
end
thing.
step.
Is basically Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like if Yu-Gi-Oh had the reverse. I think actually there are cards like finite cards that make your hand size limit smaller.
It makes everyone's hand size 3.
But imagine if finite
more.
cards instead says both players' hand size limit is 0.
Oh no, it's not both players. It's only your opponent.
Oh,
Your opponent.
oh yeah, each opponent's hand size. Yeah, which I mean, so it wouldn't take effect until the
But-
end of their turn, but that would
that's the
still
thing,
be
Omega.
fucking.
That's the thing, because it has flash. You can play it in their end step.
Oh
You
my
can
god,
play it on
yeah!
that
It's,
turn.
imagine if it had a special summon as a quick effect. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's you go. Oh, you're ending your turn. Jingataxis. You could have this thing as your commander, so you can summon it at any time.
So basically, your opponent is terrified. You're playing this only blue deck, but you're playing a blue ramp deck. So basically, you're terrified as soon as you get to 10 mana, you're fucked.
So here's the other problem too. You can't set spells.
No, there was no.
Yeah,
setting.
no, that's another thing. That's another. Yu-Gi-Oh has the whole like trap mechanic. You can have hidden cards, hidden game state.
Yeah, and Magic kind of does too, but
well, it's Magic. The thing is, Magic has only hand traps.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're more akin to hand traps. So
yeah, because we didn't mention it. Instance can be played at any time. I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's instances.
We should probably show Jinterexus in the port, so we don't have to keep looking at like my Thought.
I mean, we can unless Dallas has another card to pull up. We can pull up Jin.
I only have a couple more. I have like 4 more, I think. I have some goofy ones too.
Also, I've been meaning to ask, what is the card that you've banished chat to?
Oh, that was one of the
Unholy
versions
Strength.
of Unholy Strength. This was the first. This was the
better
first
versions of that.
This is the first card we showed, and it just so happened to be perfectly sized for chat window, so I have banished chat to that.
Don't worry, we went over that. That was my opening point. Was like, Magic has the benefit of you can use the best versions of a Magic card. Sometimes there are the worst versions, and that is what that is. God, this card is so goofy.
So, that was just to ask. How are the blue planeswalkers doing if all the blue cards are Phyrexian cards?
The main planeswalker of the entire Magic, the main character of Magic, is a blue planeswalker.
How's Zeus sailing when he has to share types on the Phyrexian?
Jace bounces. Well, they lost. They just left Mirrodin.
Okay, fair. They had to retreat.
They went. Oh, we're gone now.
A Bug's Life is not having fun.
Yeah, this art is just fucking hilarious.
Is Neon Dynasty just like a side set to be like we're in the meantime?
Well, see, the thing is, Magic literally just had its giant climactic, like, multiverse battle a couple of sets ago. So I don't know what, like, Nico Bolas and Ugin, the motherfucker, had a giant fight in the middle of a multiverse that blew up like multiple planes. I don't know where they went from there.
I heard New
I'm pretty sure Strixhaven was the one after that.
I heard people are talking about New Capenna possibly like getting back to the story, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Oh, Mirrodin Besieged, sorry, not Battle. Yeah. Yeah, Vornklex got, Vornklex was like, we will have a council of equal members, and then Elishnorn went, no, I don't think we will, and then killed him.
I'm looking at a list of the MTG sets, but I don't understand, like, I don't know, like, the difference between a compilation set and an expansion set.
Fuck, I don't either.
But
if
like,
it says MTG Core, that's just a whatever. If it says any kind of deck, that's whatever.
Also, just to bring it up,
it's actual sets. So like,
I'm not commenting on. I'm not
Streets
commenting on.
Penna.
Bring it up. I'm not talking about the main art because I don't really know what to say about it. Besides, like, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, but you also weren't letting us get a word in about the art itself.
No,
Yeah,
you want to
it's a
badger
frog.
Dallas about MTG lore. You should go read books. They exist.
Time to read book.
Read a book. Read a book. Read a motherfucking book.
But I'm noticing that previously there were some expansion sets that were also Innistrad stuff, so I can't imagine that went well.
Oh
No.
my god, I hate you, said. Yeah, that face does scream, excuse me, princess.
Oh my god.
This is a Phil Foglio, by the way.
No, the red one is the red one's dead. Urbask? I'm pretty sure Elishnorn. Never mind. I'm not gonna get distracted by chat.
We can yell about magic lore after we've done all the cards. Anyway, I don't think there's anything really to say about Frog Tongue other than it is a Frog Tongue.
Yeah.
I do think it's bullshit. Like the fact that it's a. I mean, I guess drawing is different in Magic because tutoring is so much more common. But like, this is a card that is a 1 green, and you literally get to draw a card when you play it, and then also you enchant a creature and it can block flying.
So I want to play a game with with chat. If I and if you know it, don't say it out loud. If you had to guess what a color a card called Word of Command would be,
I
what
would,
would you guess?
I would
I
assume
know.
blue.
I would assume white.
I'm gonna say black.
I think I know, so I will.
Well, Loth gets the solid gold Cupid doll.
I'm gonna pull up this card art. It's very easy.
Oh yeah, it's this
I
one.
can't make out what the fuck it
Yeah.
says. I can't make it out.
Well, that's because it's a weird print, but hey. Guys, I don't know if you can get the detail on this card. Hold on, let me blow it up bigger for you, chat.
There's nothing there.
You just need to have like a big smiley face.
Actually, I think the bit is also meant to be the whole card itself. Is like the card just has a face.
But no, just from the name itself, Word of Command, I'm like, that's probably a black card.
So
What's
yeah,
this
this is 2 black, instant, so you can play it anytime you've got the mana. You may look at your opponent's hand and choose any card opponent can legally play using mana from his or her mana pool or lands. Opponent must play this card immediately. You make all the decisions it calls for. This spell may not be countered after you have looked at your opponent's hand. So basically, it has a built-in game state protection.
This card is such a ruling's nightmare.
I love how it has game state protection built the fuck in, right?
Yeah.
Like, your opponent, if your opponent lets you look at their hand, they cannot counter you. You cannot counter this spell because it's already too late. They've looked at your hand. You fucked it.
Okay, I only have 3 more cards left.
That's okay. We can go for like 2 hours.
Okay.
This has been a fun trip.
I remember this card.
Now,
This is...
by the way, Dallas, so the card name I wouldn't have guessed. If you'd showed me this card art, I would have been like, this has to be a black card, right?
No, the art gives away its color, but also the art and the name have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, it's just a frowny face in the darkness, and if you don't see the frowny face,
Yeah, I can actually make out a face in like the initial art that was.
Well, speaking of faces and speaking of faces
Gotcha,
and
fam.
speaking of Phyrexia,
oh no.
one of my favorite Phyrexian cards is called Phyrexian Unlife.
Oh no,
Mm.
that sounds like the Noxian Greylegion foot. Oh. Yeah, that looks like a lesser mob in like a very specific kind of horror game.
No, it's the robots from My Robot.
That's not a robot. That's a person under that mask.
I know, but it
Oh,
looks like the
no.
thing from My Robot.
This is what is this called? This is like metallification.
So is that oil or is that like converting?
Well,
to
they're
oil?
being converted into a Phyrexian.
Yeah, that
The
sounds.
the
that sounds awful.
Phyrexian's whole deal. I call them the Borg for a reason. They are convert everything.
Also, by the way, interestingly enough, this is a white card.
Yeah.
Of
Oh.
course. it is.
Do you want to? Its effect is also a doozy.
Yeah, go
First
ahead,
line
read
of
it. I
text:
see it already.
you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life.
Because you're no longer alive.
As long as you have 0 or less life, all damage would be dealt to you as though its source had infect, which
that
is an
mean?
alternate win con. If you get it. It means damage is dealt in the form of poison counters, and if you get 10 poison counters, you lose the game.
Okay, so basically you get more life, but you basically now have a tracker instead of a life bar.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say infect can be nasty if your deck isn't set up in a
But what I
particular way.
assume this means is that if you can put this into play, you can play cards that cost you life for free because you don't lose when you go into negatives.
Yes. It's a very risk-reward card.
Yeah.
I basically you're converting yourself into like a machine beast. Fucking win.
The next one is a bit of a, like, classic good MTG art. People probably would have expected this if I was like, I'm going to show MTG art, but I don't care.
Like I notice like with the art is like the person on this art is rolling their sand check and is succeeding when they don't want to.
There's a reason I giggle every time someone plays that fucking Raid Raptor card, for Strix.
Yeah.
Because there's a Strix card in Magic, and it in terms of look, it puts the Yu-Gi-Oh card to shame.
I'm waiting.
I fucking love this art.
Okay, that's a little tiny. What's that? What's the actual
Oh,
call?
that is Baleful Strix.
Ah, yes, that guy. I think I've I've seen him.
Interesting. Okay, so that's a reprint art. I will look for the art gals
Yeah,
and link this.
I had a different version of that guy.
Yeah, there's a more modern art, but
Wow,
there's
that's really good, actually. Damn.
no, I don't want to save it. I want to copy it. This version.
I was looking for someone with Death Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Death Touch.
I'll frame this up more for y'all.
I accidentally posted it twice.
Angry Bird.
Well, no, the second one's a better art.
Or I posted 3 times.
Why is this a thing?
What's up?
Hold on. Okay, so I googled Baleful Strix.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guess it's an owl.
I assume so. It's from an edit. It seems like it's from like a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Now there is also
Speaking of which, hey, Yukio remembers the Harry Potter trading game.
I had them, but I don't remember at all how the game worked. So
Also, this card is broken as shit. Like, I'll get its effect. Flying Death Touch. When Baleful Strix enters the battlefield, draw a card.
also it's an artifact creature.
Yeah. There's no once per turn on that. And it does not say from your hand.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It is a blue-black. Like the
And
mana
it's an
cost is
artifact.
the mana cost is steep for a 1/1, but you do have flying death touch.
But it also
you
has
could draw a
Death
card.
Touch, which means if a monster is damaged by it, it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to Planeswalker.
It's a suicide
So-
bomber.
You give it a first strike somehow.
But honestly, the reason you play this card is to cycle it and draw cards.
Yes.
Like that's what this card is used for. Is drawing lots of stuff.
Bounce it, draw cards.
Yeah. Or-
And there was a alternate art for some kind of secret lair cryptid set art thing, which is this, which is not as cool. It's just a bird. It's
Yeah,
just
no, this art particularly is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this art so much.
The other art's very high detail, very metal.
Because the thing about Alara, where there's a lot of black artifact creatures in it, and the effect I love that they do on that is you can see them like rusting and melting through. Like if you look at its wings, it has a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that effect on it because it really shows that it's made of metal.
Oh yeah, true.
As opposed to the other card art, which I mean,
It
admittedly,
just
it's
looks
for
like an
a
owl.
it's for a cryptid. Like they seem to be going for a theme in the set. It's kind of weird when you're like doing alt art reprints in a theme set that aren't like relevant. Like it's like it. I don't want to like necessarily take too many shots. We haven't touched the whole fact that like MTG straight up has like pop culture crossover cards, which are like very weird. Like the Godzilla ones, okay, I understand that, but like
The Walking Dead
Dead
ones.
is like okay, is that a crossover?
But they're not official. Like you can't use
They're
them
promos.
in tournaments. They're promos.
Also, this reminds me. I think we were like, this is not here
It's just
anymore, but
weird.
I think we're gonna like maybe go over like 1 or 2 Street Fighter
Well,
cards just to look at them.
This one,
Yeah, we can pull them up.
this
Vesper
next
has,
one is
I assume Vesper has gone goop because they've stepped away.
this next one is for Omega. I specifically put it in
All right,
because I know Omega likes the Egypty things.
yeah, I know a lot about
and
Egypt. I read the
You're
Egypt game
you're
too.
actually gonna need. I'm gonna post the actual card art because the card art's actually the card border is important to this card. It is the Amonkhet specifically promo or version of Wrath of God.
Oh, I think I
Ooh.
saw this. Yeah, I saw this earlier. People
Which
talking
are
about
done
it.
which is done with hieroglyphics.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a tiny
The
baby
Wrath of
print.
Yeah.
Oh right, some hieroglyphs are just there for art visual. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're just.
Well, I mean,
Like,
yeah, they're not
Amon-
literally translated
spoiler.
into hieroglyph.
Amonkhet is the plane that is Egyptian. Also, it is completely fucked from the start because the Sun Emperor God is just Nicobolus.
Pretending not
Yes.
to be himself.
I mean, I think he uses his name. He just doesn't tell them about all the evil shit he's done. I
Oh,
think he
okay.
even does, but he's just a god. Like he's a god.
Why does he care about running it if he hates everything? Or is he just?
Well, it's just like it's his home base, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like he got kicked out of his original plane because they're like, wait, you want to kill all of us and rule over the world? We don't want you to do that. So he went to this like, at the time, backwater plane and formed it in his image.
So
as you do when you're basically an immortal dragon
of the foil.
Yeah.
As well, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I like shit like that. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's done some weird stuff like that. It's always interesting to see how they make these accessible. You say this was a promo, so I assume it wasn't like widely out there.
No, this was so basically what they did is, you know, basically this is the equivalent of Starlight Rare or Rare, or like Starfoil Rare. Basically, in like every like 5 or 6 boxes, one of these hieroglyphic alt art cards of reprints are available.
Okay.
Like there's another one for Blood Moon that gives away the story a little bit.
That is actually very similar to because they recently did Millennium Secret Rares just for the Egyptian god reprints in King's Court.
I want to bring up that I really like how like this entire thing is designed like it's just a paint like it's just a mural painted on a tomb.
Yeah, no, this is why Dallas said the border is important.
Yeah,
They've
they
got a very
do.
interesting
They do these
style.
occasionally in sets. Like, hey, remember that really bad modern Photoshop art?
Yeah.
That was one of the equivalents for Strixhaven of reprint cards.
Ah, no wonder I imagine why people were probably slightly nettled because that was like very weird and esoteric.
Yeah, no, all of the other arts of that, by the way, look well. Not all of them, but a lot of them look really good. But there's also, like, when they went to Kaladesh, which is basically the plane of, like, artifacts, but also India. Like, they did one for, like, Great Marvels, like, reprints of artifact, like, broken artifacts.
Dallas, is Blood Moon basically the same thing as, like, Wrath of God, but for lands?
No, it's
all basic
different.
lands or mountains.
Yeah, it's non-basic lands or mountains. It's special lands, like, that are not island, plain... Yeah. And now I have 2 more. One is a card that exists. Other is we'll finish out with a good one.
Also, I don't know what this. I think this set is upcoming, but I don't know what the fuck this new Capenna thing is. But they've got some images of some lands they've got going on there, and it's very Art Deco.
So basically, it's about I think what I heard about it, it's a planet used to be run by angels, but now it's run by mafia demons.
So an Italian one. Got it.
I mean, like, here, literally while Dallas is getting the last card, chat, I'll pull up the art for it. This is a plains, by the way. This is a basic white land. Is this? It's a fucking Art Deco as fuck train station.
Again, it's a formerly entirely angelic city now run by demons that are monsters.
Omega, that's ironic because the last 2 arts I'm pulling up are both lands.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's what I said. I feel like that's the only thing they've shown so far out of this new Capenna set. But yeah, okay.
Oh, you moved chat man for a second.
Yeah, I scrolled down because it was too big. My as you can see from the scrolling, my version of this image goes way the fuck down because I had to make room.
An interesting thing they do with lands and sets. I want to show you. I have to show you basically 2 images. Oh no, this image gets the point across.
Yeah.
So lands they do in certain sets are basically full art pieces divided up. I'll show you this. Oh, that's really small.
Right.
It gets the point across, but I just don't know why all these things are like fucking super tiny, like.
Well,
size.
these are probably scans from like the year 1992 or whatever. Like,
No,
remember?
this is Kamigawa.
Okay.
This is the islands of Kamigawa.
Okay.
Is this one better? Yeah, no, that's better.
Okay,
That's
so
much better.
I'll pull this up then. Yeah. This is gonna be a little.
Well, I
weird
just
'cause
wanted
it's,
to
like,
show you the island,
super
the
wide frame.
land part too, because each of those are the individual islands printed in the set. But
yeah,
if
so
you put them
basically,
together, it makes a
I'll pull up the tiny image Dallas has so you can see the effect.
and this is where the moon people live. I'm not kidding.
I mean, that's not that weird. Have you
I mean,
ever,
it's a Japanese plane. It's like it has all like the.
Have you ever
it
read
also
the
has, like,
tale of?
I assume it also has the
Bamboo Cutter?
underworld dwellers and like the Yomi and so on.
Well, no. Okay, so the moon people, the moon folk are the blue. The rat folk are the black. The ogres and goblins are the red. The foxkin and humans are white. And the snake people are green.
Okay, this was, now that you've said that, Dallas, this was definitely because they just did Oriental Adventures. I don't actually think Nezumi are very popular in other Japanese-based fantasy other than in Rokugan and thus Oriental Adventures.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
Because that's a pretty weird one. I don't think I see the Nezumi Ratfolk mentioned lots of other places. But yeah, so you can see this kind of like broad splash art that was broken up into separate pieces.
And then there were the spirits and gods, which were like all colors and all factions. Because the plot of Kamigawa is basically a human samurai steals the child of Yamato no Orochi, which is the god king of all, and starts a race war between all of the mortal races and spirits.
They named their god king after like the all-devouring serpent.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Spoiler.
Okay. Get the dragon.
Okay. Spoiler. At the end of he's a serpent.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say spoiler. It's Nicobolus again.
No. Spoiler. He ended up devouring the plane.
God damn it.
Because they pissed him off.
Well, no, because they're about to retrieve that which was stolen, which is his kid. Okay.
Dust being distracted.
So they steal his kid, and then they beat the samurai Konda, and they're about to take the kid back, and so his response is to kill it with a knife.
You know, like you do.
One guy ruined everything for everyone.
And then the one which devours devoured. But anyway, I need to show you the... Okay, so Omega, you're gonna have to search Zendikar Soupland.
Okay, did you say the word soup to me just now, Dallas?
I did.
I'm at soup.
No.
Oh no.
Look.
I'm about to.
No, this art is amazing. I love this art. But the way I describe it is soup.
And well, believe it or not, Dallas, that worked. When I typed in Zendikar Soup Land, I did in fact. Hold on, that's not right. This image is much larger in the thing. Hold on. Sorry, I was bamboozled. It was like
it's I'll be real. Like this is pleasant, but like I wouldn't say it's amazing.
Why is this so small?
Oh, I love this art.
It's very
So,
pleasant.
Google or Facebook is fucking lying to me. It says this is a 1,000 by 1,000 image, roughly. But when I open it, it's not actually. It's like fucking tiny baby image.
I mean, you could just use the one that
Dallas, you and I, for shits and giggles, should.
Well, yeah, but if I have a non-card art that's bigger, that's better.
For shits and giggles one day, Dallas, you and I should totally find a way to play Magic against each other.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will definitely give Yu-Gi-Oh! Over Magic. Magic does not know how online clans work at all.
Yeah.
They're allergic to online clans.
I mean, considering how it's... I don't think it'd be... I mean, maybe it's... They've made simulators that work. They're very clunky in how the fuck they are.
Like, I think the closest you've got is MTG Arena, but even then, that's...
But it just doesn't have all the cards. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, from what I understand of Arena, it's a functional simulator, but it is designed for that sweet mobile audience stuff. So, like
kind of like Duel Links.
What I'm hoping is that with the popularity and success of Master Duel, Wizards does what they do best and be like, I like money, and make their own version.
Well, and guess what? They could very easily learn from Master Duel's mistakes as a Duel Pass has ended. I gotta buy me the new one and actually go through it because there's stuff in it. But
Duel Pass.
But it's still. Well, because there's like a Moki Moki buddy in it. That's
True,
adorable. But like at the same time, the problem is new season. Yes, you have to buy the pass to get the stuff. Axe. You gotta play it. You gotta play through the pass.
True. Yes, I just think you don't spend actual like hard money like other passes.
Well, yeah, no, but I need to spend the gems on it. That's what I mean by buy it.
Also,
I don't
you wanna
spend
pay-
real money on Master Duel. I'm not as popular as the likes of Farfa or MBT, where people will throw me a bajillion dollars just to open Master Duel packs for 5 hours on stream.
$30 on it once. And that's all
Did you just get the 3 discounted packs that they let you get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think I bought 2 of them.
The thing is that people are like, there's no new ban list, there's no new event on the horizon. The previous events are just kind of merp.
No. I really like the NR event.
Well, I mean, the NR Festival was way better. It's still like, is it worth your time?
I thought it was, but that was me.
Well, yeah, but it's like, it's still, you go through like halfway through the ladder, and then the ladder becomes legacy tickets, and it sucks. There's not, well, after a certain point, there's no incentive to play it other than just for the heck of it. But guess what? Konami, you could just do those as not as events, but as fucking like filters for rooms.
I just was like, so why don't you just make an NR ranked mode? Because I would play the shit out of that.
It's really fun, and I hope they bring that back and they get that feedback on like surveys. But I feel like Master Duel is very rapidly stagnating because Konami is just. I don't think they were prepared for it to blow the fuck up as much as it did, and then just people to be like,
you know who?
It's been 2 months. The format hasn't changed.
You know who I'm gonna give credit for? And as much as the companies are interesting when it comes to customer service, but then again, so is Konami. In way worse ways than most. I will give credit to Blizzard and Riot in how they are very good with updating.
As someone that plays Runeterra, it's surprisingly nice.
Yeah, as someone who plays both Runeterra and Hearthstone.
Well,
at times,
so I mean, I think the obvious thing there is, I mean, okay, technically Konami was also a digital entertainment company, but I don't know if what's left of Konami's vestigial video game arm talks to the Yu-Gi-Oh guys anymore. Like, I don't know if
video game arm exists anymore.
Yeah. Well, somebody did the remaster bundling reprogramming of that new fucking Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. But yeah, no. But the thing is that I presume that the Konami elements that came at this was the Konami card game, and same with Wizards. Like, as a license, D&D has a very like hit or miss history with video games. I remember the D&D online MMO.
That's true. And Riot has more money than God and are better out animating anime.
Well, but also that's the thing, right? Like, say what you will about Blizzard's current management situation. But Blizzard is a video game company first, same with Riot. Actually, say what you will about Riot's internal culture system.
I'll say this about Blizzard. Their Hearthstone division has always had more of its shit together than most of their other divisions.
I mean,
that's the one you don't usually hear things about.
I mean, Hearthstone is like, aren't they the ones that like literally like locked their doors and kept their head down when the shit was going on?
Basically, they went, we are not associated with.
Well, yeah, we're the card game division. We don't talk to those other guys. We just make you card updates. We're not here. Shut up. But yeah, like because you know about that, like they are in that video game system, right? They would know more about that, and that is the thing about games as a service, is if you want those to work, you gotta have the content coming, and you gotta keep doing new, fresh things. And most importantly, you have to have balance updates. Like, the actual game state needs to change. Fucking Elden Ring, which I would say that while the PvP element is, like, part of the appeal, it's not the exclusive appeal.
No.
I find way too many weird nerds online who are way too excited to go bully people in PvP, but I guess that's just the other half. When you make a game for masochists, you attract sadists who want to abuse that game.
Okay, I'll say that. As the resident Souls expert on this panel, fuck Dark Souls PvP. I've always hated it.
I never really either, but because connection's bad.
Even so, the fact that I would argue the PvP is probably like a secondary appeal, even like FromSoft and Elden Ring is on top of like, hey, we're patching exploits, we're fixing the balance, we're making sure things
we made sure General Radon was as strong as he was meant to be.
From Software, for all their sadistic game design, they are very good about making the experience how they intended it. You find something with a set of armor that does like things that make people angry, that's fine. But the moment you do a hacker exploit, they are on that.
So, I've had this described to me. Dark Souls is not about getting good. It's about find the way you can to mitigate your own difficulty.
I mean, that's getting good.
No,
No,
it's
because you
getting
can get
good.
more health, you can do other things. You don't have to just get better reaction
Yeah.
time.
Well, that is
Uh,
that is getting good.
That's
X.
different
That is
ways
getting
of
good.
getting good.
You're just getting better at the game. Like,
And
Oh, yeah.
at
when
some
when
point-
when some people say get good, they just boil it down to get better, but also they do just mean get good, like get better
Yeah.
at the game.
As
Yeah,
Whether
someone
getting
who
better for
also
you is
lost-
getting tankier and remembering to boost your vigor or whatever, or
As someone who
What?
beat the final boss of Elden Ring yesterday, you can get good, or you could just spam the really good weapon arts.
There's a really funny there's a boss in Dark Souls 2 that is notorious for being really bullshit called the Ancient Dragon that
Yes.
a lot of people hate. I beat it my first try blind by having 999 health items, and every time it would knock me down I would just fully heal, and I did that for 30 minutes and I won because fuck you.
what Soulsborne games are actually about, Miyazaki has said, is he wants players to experience the genuine sense of overcoming hardship. The games are
And
supposed
I
to be
am
a
great at
difficulty
that.
which you overcome. For me personally, sometimes I'm not always buying into those games, mostly because they require a certain amount of time investment. Like, I actually like
No,
Bloodborne,
that's
I just
true.
don't have time to play it.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Elden Ring, but I'm not going to buy it at
As
full price
someone
also
that-
while the internet is yelling about it.
As someone that beat
Because
Sekiro,
Souls games are weird.
FromSoft games are not hard. They just demand your time.
You're wrong.
Uh,
You're just wrong.
you're wrong.
Have you only played Sekiro? Because you're
No,
wrong.
I've also played all the Souls games. It's not fully, but like I
Uh,
mean it as. I mean it
They
as
are-
there's a difference between a game that is hard as that it's cheap, or the card that it demands
Well,
you actually
that
learn
a
it.
cheap game then is
Yeah.
not hard axe, it's just cheating.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why most old games that people say are hard, I ignore because they're not fun hard. They're just bullshit designed to rip your quarters
Yeah.
out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
and even
those
then, there
Goblins
are
is a
just
shit
some
game.
games that are just
Yeah,
like I think there are
that
some decent Nintendo hard games that were not
Dracula
necessarily
X.
designed as quarter rippers, but more as just like we don't know what the fuck is testing, what the fuck is game design. We're just gonna make, I don't know, like 8 levels. 8 levels sounds good, and then you have what you have, right? So
And
Yeah,
there's no
they-
sense of what to value something
Yeah.
at. in
Yeah,
that
just to
space.
talk about old games, they made them hard because they didn't want you to beat them like right away easy.
yes, also buying video game, it's coming back around, but buying video games used to be really expensive, and they wanted to make sure you felt like it was worth the price and you spent a lot of hours playing them so that you were involved in that ecosystem and not necessarily jumping onto some other game developer's game.
Fair enough. I always thought there was a difference between being a hard game and a demanding game. 'Cause the demanding game. What's your
I
time?
mean, yeah, some games are demanding without being hard. I do actually think that like Souls games are difficult. There is a difficulty because they are supposed to represent a genuine challenge you have to figure out how to overcome. Whether that's like
Yes.
you just figure out how to play them better, or you like figure out how to
Grind
toughen
out
yourself
enough.
up. Like it's a whole thing. As opposed to like I've been playing a lot of Tokyo Ghostwire. Parts of that game are hard. That's mostly just because I do kind of feel like your gameplay options are a little limited. You have one defensive, well, I guess the stun talisman is kind of defensive, but that's a consumable. You have one main defensive thing you can do inherently, which is block. And unless you perfect parry, it's not a perfect block. You still get damaged. So it's first person. So if you're just surrounded by dudes beating you up, you can't really do anything about that scenario. I think that the game really could use some like sprinting or dodging. That's a very tiny image, but I will look up.
That was you just showed me a guy having the worst time of it ever.
This is also a very funny name.
Yes.
And
Yes.
We
I
just
have a
fell
good- I have a-
over
I have a bigger art for
onto
this.
Undeath, he's top climb.
So this card is called Ad Nauseam. Get it? Did you get it?
When the task slipped over into death, or into void
Undeath.
death?
Undeath.
He stopped calling it his life's passion or his life's work.
I'm learning that Axe literally can't read.
It was really small red size when I opened the
But
house.
work does not look anything like passion. Does your brain just make up words?
Oh no, sorry, I just said that wrong. Because the text was small. and I
You're
looked-
your
I
brain autopiloted.
do that occasionally.
Well, it's not uncommon because we've talked about this. The human brain is great at just filling gaps. Like, It's why sometimes humans have problems spell checking themselves, because your brain will be
I
like,
read autocorrects all the time. Yeah.
yeah, your brain will be like, that word is misspelled, but I'm gonna read it correctly anyway.
Yeah, or you know, it'll autocorrect certain things, like the classic example of the sign that says Paris in the spring.
I have one final art, and I'm gonna have to spell this out for you because holy shit,
Yeah. By the way,
This
ad
name.
nauseum is literally like to the point of being
well,
like
it's heavily implied to be
becoming
like mental torture.
so ad nauseum is basically like until you get, like, the literal Latin is until you get sick of it, but like it's used to just find a repetitive argument.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a U or an A
What is
in that
It's
first
a Garzazol,
one? Okay.
a plague queen.
That is a card.
This art is so bad.
Have there been other updates to this?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, we've auto-completed.
This is from one of those magic sets that was like infamously bad.
Yeah.
Ice Age.
Tricolor card.
Yeah, that is understated.
Oh, cold snap.
Yeah, it's Cold Snap.
I mean, it can...
Okay, I have a non-card art, but it's very tiny, so we're gonna blow it up a little.
Ad
I
nauseum
assume-
looks like it's a decent card.
Oop,
in
no, that
the-
was sorry.
in the
Hold on, I gotta
proper
reset.
deck.
That was somehow.
I don't know if it was in Dex, but I could check. Hold
And
on.
like a pure black thing. Maybe that's useless.
Well, the thing is that there were some high-powered decks in that format, so I don't know if it was.
Ah, okay.
And also, that was not a monocolor format. That was the Alara block.
I was gonna say you wouldn't want to monocolor it anyway because you'd want some way of gaining life, and black doesn't do that.
Yeah, that was
so,
most likely-
funnily
to
enough,
combat,
I want to
but-
throw this out there. And if anybody, and if the artist gets mad at me, they're making proxy cards, so they can go fuck themselves. So as you could, this is a multicolor card, which means that it goes in some EDH and Commander stuff. The art is awful, as you can see. But so apparently there's internet people making proxy versions of this card so you can play it and you don't have to look at the old dog shit art.
I mean, the proxies
Yes.
looks not bad.
Yeah.
It's a bit too anime for me. But that's just me.
It looks like a card out of Shadowverse, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely in a slightly different art style. And I think
Well,
it's trying a little too hard with like the fucking the chain edit and the spike over.
Yeah, that's just not good.
But yeah, so
It's like it's a better art. It's better.
yes, it is technically a better art. I believe it is drawn and composited better, but
He's more competent.
it's still like a little weird. But yeah, compared to this though, this is just wow. Ghostbusters at home, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
as far as I can tell, Ad Nauseum was not played much.
Ah, okay.
Just because
Well,
it
that's-
didn't really fit into any of the because the things were Jund, Esper, and
Yeah, it just
Loth, you
didn't
don't need
fit.
to apologize to the audience.
Nah,
What's
yeah.
this video titled?
Faffening.
Yeah, so like, is there any other cards you want to like go over now?
This is when we were talking about games. And,
Well, the name
mean-
was obscured in that proxy. But also, I mean, it's. I would argue it's still technically a proxy card because it's not an original Magic printing because it's gonna have that card art on it.
What the?
But
frick?
I don't. Sometimes Magic nerds are really weird if you use a real English word that means something specific to Magic people in a different way. So I don't know if proxy means something specific to the Magic the Gathering community.
Proxy just means. Well, usually what proxy means to me is I can't afford that card, so I'm gonna Xerox copy a card and put it in a sleeve over a fucking island backwards.
Okay.
I mean, depending on how you acquire that card, yes, that would be done that way because it's a different card art. But
We could talk to some of the funny. We could
literally
talk about some of the funnier Magic
literally
cards.
the. Well, yeah, you're using it in place of the real version because that's not the real fucking art print. And literally, If you want me to pull that fucking art again, I'll argue with people in chat. I don't care how many subs I lose. I'll fight with people in chat if they're gonna be fucking actually
Can we
me.
do another thing, please?
No, I'm in the middle of something, X. Also, I have to find that card art full. But literally, what that art says is it says, proxy syndicate.
Yeah.
Like it's talking about a
says
proxy site. Like there's another similar one which uses a completely different Genzo Man art, which is called Super Oxen Proxy by blah blah blah. So they call it a proxy card in the text. But this is Eureka? Okay. This is probably gonna need to just pull that art up you linked to me because this is an old card art. Like it's not like an official alt art, it's a proxy. What else do you call a counterfeit card?
Counterfeit card.
Yeah, and people will be like, "Oh, but it's not fully obscured," even though it is. I can pull that example up again. It did technically cover up.
Yeah, that would not be a tournament legal card because it has text obscured.
I don't think they painted over. It's got like a different border. Anyway, we have to just pull up Eureka E = MC squared. Because, real life references were cool in Magic. There's another Foglio piece.
Look, sometimes Magic cards are awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I love Eureka and Mind Bomb.
Yeah, I've seen Mind Bomb before.
Wow, it's just
Yeah, no.
just
Why
like,
would
hey,
you ever discard the Mind Bomb?
Oh
Like,
no, these
unless
cards
you-
are awful.
Yeah, unless you absolutely had to.
Eureka is such an obvious, like, this is a bad idea card. Although it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
I've actually played Eureka several times in EDH, where I'll be like, okay, well, I put my Emrakul into play, what are you putting into play?
Yeah, put a permanent card into play.
until no one has.
Free Suicide or Emeralds.
It's like,
But
well,
you get to start with you, so you always get to do at least one.
yeah.
And maybe sometimes you only need to do that because then you can I guess play the Praetor. I can remember his name. As a scroll.
Jingataxis?
Yeah, you just put Jingataxis to be the
I mean, you
actor
wouldn't,
to,
because that guy is normally... That would be like prepping for a weird side saddle thing, because that guy's all blue. This is all green. Like, you'd have to do some weird setups.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
definitely, I'm
this-
sure there are bullshit cards you can do.
Eureka is pretty much only good in Commander.
Where, let me guess, you do some nonsense to where you can draw a whole bunch of cards before using it.
No, it's literally used to cheat out stuff like Emrakul, where it's like, okay,
Oh.
you can put a free permanent into play, but there's nothing much you can do that's better than this.
Yeah.
I like this text, though, this person has said. This card is bad, but the text box is full of words. That reminds me of certain... Because pre-PCST, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had to explain everything as well. There are bad cards that just, like, have... fucking...
Doesn't, like, what's that fucking card that used to be able to flip things into face-up defense?
Darkness
face down
Approaches.
attack? That has, like, 80 times it's been, like, it is ridiculous to PCSK.
Also, actually, this is
Yeah.
a genuine question, because I see people sometimes reference this in the name of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but they don't explain themselves. What is Cube?
Okay, so Cube is basically a curated format where you take a bunch of cards and you put it in a cube, and then everyone takes turns picking out sections of the cube and
Oh, right,
making
how Dual
decks
Knight
out of
works,
it.
yeah. Like Dual Knight.
It's like a pre-made draft.
It's a weird,
basically.
it's a weird draft.
It's a pre-made draft.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that makes sense why people talk about it. That's just the fucking we're only playing these cards rules.
I remember, I know like Team Samurai, their Dual Knights works like that, where they basically have like 4 boxes of cards that they basically like put together, and then have a box of tables that are separate from it, and they put that in one big pile, and they just alternate as they give it to each other.
The cube format could be interesting,
Oh,
but
oh yeah, I just double checked more about Cube. apparently every monster is considered every single type.
What?
Oh, for as far as like
Yeah, so
archetyping?
no, it just has types, so you can use certain combos still.
Okay, I have not played that kind of cube, but
Oh, so that you don't have like a dead, equip this to a dragon, but you don't have a dragon.
Yeah.
When the bomb is a mind, or the mind is a bomb, it's mind bomb.
Yeah. Look at that thing. Dropping
It's-
the
It's a mind.
gray
and it's a
matter
bomb.
nuke.
So is preventing 3 damage that big of a deal unless you're playing it like as the last thing you do?
preventing 3 damage is usually not a big thing.
Unless you get advantage off discarding, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, Mind Bomb does have a place in certain decks, it's just not, like...
I mean, it's 1 blue, so it does 3 damage to each player, and then you can choose to discard to prevent. But no, it's not a big deal. We just talked about how there's a one, well, not just, but earlier we talked about how there's a 1-cost white mana that heals you 3, and it's not good.
Like, Mind Bomb is good because it does 3 damage in blue. That's why
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, blue doesn't have a lot of damage cards. The other thing too is if you have cards you want to discard.
Yeah, there are certain decks that want to discard their own cards, and those decks usually do include blue as a color. So it's not the worst card, it's just...
I was gonna say, honestly, blue-black zombie-style decks in Magic seem like the decks
Blue-black
that
could
want to
be...
do that.
Blue-black is just the deck color. That is
Oh,
the
yeah.
color of the decks.
As someone who has played blue black, yes.
Also,
Oh,
I would like to
right.
say-
Isn't it just like stun recursion?
No, it's
No.
I destroy your hand, the top of your deck, and your soul.
Oh, okay, so it's just eternal mill.
It's mill plus discard plus control. Plus
I would
races.
also say, depending on what exact format you're playing, the fact that this does 3 to everybody, and multiplayer formats exist where there can be only one winner, that can also be a decent effect to just be like, well, I'm just gonna hurt all of you, actually. Fuck you.
It can also, because it's a blue card, there's a lot of ways to recur it. It's not like, because it's a 1 mana card, it's not actually that bad. It's just, you're correct, no one would ever discard to this card.
Yeah.
Unless it was literally saving their life.
Yeah, or
Well,
they
and I
add
mean, that
card
can be a
they
funny way
need
to apply it
discard.
late game. Like, if your opponent really doesn't want to lose that 3 life, whether that's they literally lose or they're very likely to lose if they lose that 3 life, they might actually have to discard.
Omega, you want to go back to Kamigawa for a little bit?
Sure. What the fuck am I looking at?
Oh, Jesus fuck.
Celestial fish.
Well, at least it gets the
So,
idea
somebody didn't really
of,
understand how-
being eerie.
God damn it.
Eerie Procession.
It is
This is
eerie.
eerie. This is an eerie procession, yes.
I was gonna say, I don't think somebody understood how koi fish work.
Trying to read it.
Strange ways of coming now. What? I don't even know how. I'm not going to say that.
This card is bad. But it's just, the art is so derpy looking that I love it.
It's just a weird the Japanese gods are weird, and we don't. It's not for the mortal mind to comprehend what the fuck they're doing.
Sometimes this happens. But this is a tutor for 3 mana, and it's a type locked tutor. It only searches arcane cards. It's weird though. Like, these goldfish have hands, and they're gripping scrolls. Scroll hands.
I do have to make a retraction about earlier.
Oh, what's up?
The god of... I'm going to pull his art up, so it works. But the god of Kamigawa is not called Yamamoto no Orochi, he just looks like that.
Wow.
It's Okagachi.
Which makes me think of a different one, but that tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Snicky
fuck
boy.
yeah. You don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember this guy now. Yeah.
Oh, wow,
he
he's
was,
multicolor. Well, he's like
He was in my friend's dragon deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like there's 5 elements in the system of the place. Actually, it's honestly quite weird that Magic hasn't gone to like because they have a 5-element system.
I love his effect.
No.
So Okagachi, Vengeful Kami, is 6 mana, 1 of every color, and then 1 of something else. Probably makes a great commander if you want to be weird.
Oh yeah. No, this is one of my commanders.
This is a legendary creature, Dragon Spirit, similar to Falling Evening Star. Flying Trample. Whenever Okagachi Vengeful Kami, I love how it has to say its full name every time, it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yep.
Deals combat damage to a player. If that player attacked you during his or last turn, exile target non-land permanent that player controls. So if you beat up an opponent who beat you up, fuck you.
Yeah.
They get
To be
spider.
fair, that tracks the story because
Yeah,
it's
Vengeful
as it says in his flavor text. At the behest, the Kami War began to regain that which was taken, i.e., his kid.
Also, it's 6/6 for
What
6.
is there art? Is there a card that involves that which was taken? Like, is it called that, or is there art that's showing their kid?
Well, I mean, I assume the plot. It seems like the meta plot is that it's just called that which was taken, and then you figure it out.
Hey, a quick question. Looking at this card art though, where is his eyes? Is it the blue? Is it the thing with the blue light coming off of it, or does it look like the thing that's at the very tip of his what looks like a nose? Because it looks like both could either be his eyes.
I mean, the things
He
at
has
his nose
multiple
are
faces.
nostrils.
And it looks like a snake face.
They're nostrils.
Yeah. Oh, well, looks like ice to me.
As you asked, I have given. Which this is my personal favorite flavor text in the game. That which was taken.
Okay.
The god held prisoner in human hands has put all of humanity in the hands of angry gods.
That's.
Oh, wow.
I'll be real. That's very profound, but it's also said by the guy called Basako the Humorless, which is like that tracks. It's very profound.
Like I love the comic. Like despite the mileage that varies. Also, just for the last part of the story, I can show you what happened with Kami.
So, as a question, is that what's taken an artifact for the thing that's keeping it sealed?
Yeah, basically. It's
I mean,
basically
also-
representing
also,
what
X,
Konda did with it.
It's metaphysical because that which was taken is a MacGuffin.
True.
Yeah, basically. It just holds the divinity of the child because, okay. Hold on.
I am Okakachi. You stole my child. Prepare to die. Yeah, have a good one, Moss.
Okay, Mark.
Are these exactly the same? Okay, yeah. It's just there's 2 arts for this guy. Chat has a recommendation. I will put it forward to y'all first.
Yeah.
Kaito Shizuku.
While I pull
or
up
Shizuki.
that thing.
Oh yeah, the weird neon samurai, the neo cyborg.
I
okay.
like his. I love that with similar to Planeswalker's type.
Oh, yeah, no, that's you should put one of the fucking days. Hold on. Okay.
So
What is
the
this
card art
human
Dallas
revelation?
has supplied is Konda, Lord of Iganjao. This is almost as bad as some of the old school Japanese ass names.
Is
From,
this the guy that stole the
Alpha
child?
Yes, this is the antagonist of the Kamigawa story. Because, spoiler, the reason he's indestructible is because of that which was taken.
Oh, is it because he secretly has a divinity counter on him?
Basically.
Yeah, I don't like his facial hair.
Bushido
No.
5. Okay.
This
So
is
he
a
just
gremlin man.
beats most things that block him. Okay.
This is a gremlin man with a beaten stick. Anyway, yeah, this is a 7 mana, 2 white, 5 colorless legendary creature, human samurai. He has vigilance, Bushido 5, which I guess is the theme they were going for with Kamigawa with the honor. And it explains what Bushido means. When this blocks or becomes blocked, it gets 5/5 until the end of the turn, and
So
then
it's an 8/8 when it does it, and it can't be destroyed.
Konda is indestructible. So a vigilance, so attacking doesn't make it tap, and it's got 5/5 and indestructible for 8 seems okay.
For big
This guy's
fuck off
a
card.
No, it doesn't become 5/5. It gains 5/5, so it becomes an 8/8.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. It's an 8/8. It's an 8/8 for 8, basically. Unless your opponent decides not to get booped, in which case they take 3. And then attacking doesn't tap, and it's indestructible. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, so should I pull up this card that was recommended to us by
You
chat?
should, because chat was correct. This art is oh boy.
What do you think of its effects?
Well, so Dallas is gonna have to explain to me how the fuck planeswalkers work, because I don't know how that works.
Oh yeah, they're the.
Planeswalkers basically they were introduced in Lorwyn, and they basically come into play and they have loyalty counters on them. Each turn you can activate one of their effects to either add loyalty or minus loyalty. And they're a separate target that monsters can declare attacks towards and you can block for. You can't lose while there's a planeswalker on the field.
By the way, chat, if you were curious, yes, this image is actually that blurry. I do not know
This
why it is out of
fucking
focus like this.
This looks like that fucking David Cage game.
Oh yeah, no, like this looks
it's
like
Detroit.
somebody is attempting to draw a render of a human
of
man.
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit become human?
Yeah, it's Detroit become human.
But the Kamikawa.
And then he's got a Robo Tanuki, I think.
God, this art is
I will say
awful.
his outfit is cool. His face is jank.
His everything is jank. Like not the outfit, but just the blur and the perspective.
No, that's there. The
and-
blur is fucky.
I don't know why it's blurred. I don't know if this card is actually that blurry, but it's...
The only good part of this card is the background.
The background is cool. I like his suit though.
Also, his final effect is ass.
Yeah,
Oh.
so this guy is
Now you wanna
blue-black.
explain this?
During your end step, if he entered the battlefield, he phases out. Don't know what that means.
Wow, this phases out. Oh god, they brought back phasing. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Explain, please.
Phasing is it basically is a separate zone from Exiled Zone, and every other turn it either exists or doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So he basically hides because it's
Okay, no. Basically, what happens is on your end, because of how phasing works, it comes back on your standby phase.
Okay.
So basically, he would leave every turn. So on your opponent's turn, he does not exist. He cannot be targeted.
So they can't target him. Okay.
Okay,
and
that
then you
actually
can draw
makes
a
his
card,
effect
discard a
better.
card. You can create a 1/1 blue ninja token. This creature can't be blocked. That doesn't sound very blue.
Yeah, people.
No, that blue
guys said
black.
this, but
That's
if
pretty
I-
standard for blue black.
Okay.
Also,
Well, yeah,
also,
black making tiny baby tokens makes sense.
would say-
Hold on,
also,
I feel like I need to call something out in chat here. Someone is clearly getting people fucking mixed up here. When have I ever said anything about someone called getting into trials who can make you not lose? What the fuck?
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
Everything I've said is... Oh, goddamn.
Loth isn't
But-
even speaking.
So just as a thing, someone earlier mentioned this guy plays like a red card somewhat today.
I don't know what an emblem is, but then you get an emblem whenever a
That's a
creature
good
does
one.
combat damage. Search your library for a blue-black creature card, put it on the battlefield.
Is that actually a permanent
Sorry.
effect? I guess.
In my defense, I have not played since fucking when did I last play Magic? When was Tarkir? I haven't played since Tarkir.
I don't know now. But yes, there is an alt art of this by an actual, I believe, manga artist. That looks better. That looks like an art that exists.
Well, that's actually.
I mean,
Pretty
I still
cool.
have some problems with the art, but it's definitely better.
I
mean,
the
it's
outfit
better.
still.
I think there are questions about his design with his weird cyberpunk shaved head thing, right?
Yeah.
But, like,
I just like the body armor.
this at least this looks like a manga thing.
Also, I have a question on the effectiveness of his attack shooting in random directions.
He's doing the
That's
They're,
shuriken
they're
things.
circling around towards the center.
Yeah, remember, Loth is from the place that doesn't exist. I'm the deep voiced one.
Dallas has
here.
been
Don't worry,
doing most of our exposition.
And I'm,
Don't
I'm
worry,
kinda
people
here.
get accent I confused sometimes.
I don't
That
know how
one
that
does not
happens.
make any sense.
I don't really
I
get
don't-
your voice.
I'm
I don't
not as
actually get your
juvenile
voice
as
is
Loth.
confused. I'm just so used to speaking to you, to putting
I mean, here's
you two
the-
chuckle fucks in a corner and speaking to you that it's.
That's the thing. I sometimes yell at both of you, and sometimes use the wrong word, but that is usually.
I mean, it has been a thing where Lucky and Omega have accidentally gotten our character names fucked up, and they've always felt bad
Well,
about
that's
it every
your
time.
character names. That's different.
Well, it also
Boots
applies
and-
to both of them.
That's Boots and what's the
Omega
character
has
Loth?
called me Loft so once
Oh,
or
no,
twice.
you're
and felt bad.
Boots. What's
Loth is
I'm
Boots,
Boots.
Axe's character is Camo.
right? Yeah, you chose
just need a
clone
clone
ass
of-
names, so.
We're playing close. What do you expect?
I mean,
Technically, I
we should
did
consider
choose
themselves
my name.
lucky they chose names at all. These motherfuckers were gonna
That's
we're gonna
true.
make us call them by their fucking clone trooper
true.
code names, and we're
Oh
just
my
like,
God, I
no,
remember
we're not
that.
doing that. That's not how clones work. You need nicknames now, or nicknames will be given to you.
It's
If
like I just
ever
couldn't think
make
of
a
it at the
clone-
time.
If I ever make a clone character, I'm calling them Sigma. I don't care. You must
Sigma.
always
But-
refer to me as
Yeah, no,
Sigma.
I think David
Is your clone also bald?
Wait, did someone say my name? I'm here.
Different David.
someone in chat called David.
They have a
It's
full name.
correct.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Loth confused the fuck out of me earlier when he referred to me by my first name. And I realized there was someone in chat with that.
No. Why? Sorry,
We have a lot of-
this is
we have a
just
lot of
me looking
Davids
at
here.
People just
It's a common
coming
name.
in with their names
Yeah.
and just like, well, why though?
Well, no, I understand. I remember you said Evan something earlier, and I was like, why'd you
Oh,
fucking
right,
call
yeah.
me that? And I was like, oh no, there's just someone in chat with that. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
there is someone in chat called Evan.
And apparently there's some
Who's my
fucking...
government name? What the f-
Yeah, no, there are some planeswalkers who are worth it and not worth it.
Planeswalkers are very touchy.
Mixed.
Like, what is it? A guy I know who had a whole Dragon EDH deck. Had
Well, I
a-
mean, I imagine his power, his -7 effect is not great because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, fuck
You're not
you,
sorry.
David.
You're not sorry.
I'm
though.
not saying anything.
There are certain people in our VCs who don't possess the ability to wait for other people to stop speaking.
Wait, there are people who don't possess that?
I mean, I usually try and wait until people stop speaking unless we're all
You
speaking
do?
at once, which is hard. No, Dallas, remember, my flaw is I don't shut the fuck up. I will keep
That's
saying
true.
my sentence.
No, I just
I
have
keep
a
trying, but people
natural innate
overpower me.
ability to be talked over since childhood.
Actually,
I just get petrified
I can
about
just
it.
get that.
There's also 5 billion Jaces. That's the
Yeah,
other
no.
thing.
Yeah,
Fuck
fucking-
Jace.
Are most of them also different effects too?
Yeah, no, all of them are.
There's so many different Jaces.
I mean, I've heard some talk about the Jace, and like Dallas earlier called him the main character of MTG. He's a guy who
really-
recurs a lot.
So
I really don't like this art.
The
This art
three
is
main
bad.
the three main planeswalkers are Jace.
I mean, it's very blurry. I think this
Or the
art is
three main
okay, but it's hard
planeswalkers,
to
I
see.
would argue, are
No.
Jace, Nicobolas, and Liliana.
Well, the
Who's
point is,
the? How do I describe her character? She's the Tsundere.
Pyromaniac?
She's the Tsundere. No, that's Chandra. No,
No.
Liliana is her alignment is Tsundere. She's like a villain or hero every other fucking plane.
Oh yeah,
the re-
she's the black planeswalker.
Yeah.
So here's when I Google Jace, which the internet is kind enough to figure out I meant Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
That's that art.
fucking- Oh. Yeah, no, that's Jace.
I want to say that the Kaito art I didn't like because it just looks like a
That
generic
is the
side
most
element.
expensive standard card in Magic the Gathering since Alpha. That
It's
is Jace the Mind Sculptor. I know that one by heart.
It's-
because
It's interesting how like our hero is a guy that also like brainwashes.
I
people.
sold a foil copy of this card for a PS3.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reduce the
But,
saving.
like,
this is
it-
the first result that came back when I Googled Chandra. People were talking about waifu cards, by the way. I'm gonna assume Chandra is pretty popular as a recurring character, who is a lady
Okay.
who is on fire.
So, she isn't, but that's because of her characterization. She is very contentious. I'll put it that way.
I mean,
You know the hothead shonen protagonist? That's her.
okay. Oh, I can understand.
is
Yeah, that is. You are
resulted in her
correct. That
doing
is
some-
contentious. This also explains
Nisa,
why.
I would call Nisa the waifu character.
This kind of
If there is
explains
any.
this Japan alt art, though.
And Liliana is the waifu character if you like them dangerous.
So I actually like the fire here. That's actually
If you like crazy, you go for Liliana.
So Lucky plays Liliana in Magic. Got it. Lucky
Lucky
won't
likes
get mad at
women
me
that
for
kill him.
saying that. Lucky would be like, I know what I'm about.
Liliana is Jace's I put the giantest quotes against this. Love interest in that she has kidnapped and like molested him multiple times.
She's the woman that basically she's the woman that desires him. It does not mean it's mutual.
You know that really creepy thing about the first 2 Witcher games where a woman had like weird intentions towards a guy with amnesia?
Yeah, the whole thing of Triss, yeah.
Imagine if that was really unambiguously creepy. Because Liliana did that once. It was just like, no, you are my husband, and you do everything I say.
Okay, so yes, she is the woman that desires Jace.
She's like Sun Yandere, is the best way to put it. She's Sun Yandere.
So, what was that other character you mentioned, Dallas?
Nisa?
Yeah.
Nisa?
Someone mentioned in the chat that, like, oh.
Oh, Sean,
Oh.
Look,
is that true about Nisa?
I know that's true about Chandra. I'm pretty sure Nisa just wants to fuck a tree.
Oh, is she like a fucked up druid lady?
No, she's an elf. All elves want to fuck trees.
Yeah,
Is that actually a thing?
Except for the one plane where all of the elves are Nazis.
I remember back when I did play it realistically. Sorry, not realistically. In real life, I pulled a shiny Nissa Planeswalker card, and someone said that's worth $70. I went, cool.
Yeah,
and I shrugged.
Nissa is Nissa's like the team mom is the best way to put it. She's the one that's like, okay, you are all insane and have weird personalities. We have a paladin who wants to.
Sorry, go on.
We have a paladin who wants to kill everything. A dude who is having a continuous emo arc every 10 seconds with PTSD because he's been in too many stories. A pyromaniac who wants to light things on fire.
And then just punch things at the same time.
Like 8 planeswalkers who have gone good and evil. Our leader keeps just leaving and randomly showing up because the story made him too OP, so he needs to leave for there to be tension.
I just want to say, there's so many great... Because they're all different versions, they have to have different fucking subtitles. There's so many different ones. You've got, for Nissa, you've got Nissa Genesis Mage, Nissa of Shadowed Boughs, Nissa Steward of Elements, Nissa World Waker, Nissa Who Shakes the World.
Yeah, Nissa Who Shakes the World.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
So, is Jace's original thing, is it like he was a guy that literally mindfucks people?
Oh no, he's from the Evil Guild in Ravnica. And he's like a good guy. So
he was a plant? Okay.
No, he's from Dimir. He's from the Dimir Guild. Spoiler: the Dimir Guild is always evil.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever actually trusted them?
Yes, every time. It's really funny.
Why does people keep trusting?
How many? Even they're probably just like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson?
Well, to be fair, all of the guilds in Ravnica are insane. Like you have the Rakdos who just want to kill everything.
Dress to kill.
Sandra, oh god. I thought Jace was from Ravnica.
I can't remember his exact name.
I think he is. I want to say that he was in one of the Ravnica episodes.
It isn't Nicobolus, but there is a Planeswalker who was just, I love dragons. Dragons are cool.
So, he is from the guild of, from the Living Guild Pact of Ravnica, but is from Vryn. Whatever that is, according to the MTG Wiki.
Okay, yeah, no, yes, his plane of origin is Vryn, which is a dead plane.
He's basically a drifter from another plane. Okay.
But his home base before he became the main character after the last one got turned into a laser cannon is...
So, like, kill an Elder Thing or something?
Yes, literally to kill Cthulhu.
Okay.
Yeah. His home base was Ravnica, basically.
Yeah, because he was part of a group on
Shame
Ravnica.
She turned into the moon.
So,
and there
I will say, considering talking about Chandra, I didn't expect that she'd be okay like wearing a dress, but I guess because she's on fire, she's okay with it.
Well, also, I think she can just burn it away. She's dressed to kill.
Yeah, I think it was on her home. I think it was when she went to her home plane of Kaladesh.
A lot of elves.
Is that Kaladesh? I don't know. I don't know that symbol. That symbol is not something I recognize.
There's so many different planes.
Yeah, she's from Kaladesh.
No, I know she's from Kaladesh. I just don't know if that particular card art is.
Oh. Yeah, it's... I gotta be honest, we've looked at a lot of Magic cards. A lot of the symbols are the same. They're just weird pointy things. They're all just different batarangs.
Well, no, the Kamigawa ones are clearly Japanese. Like,
Yeah,
one's
no,
a
some of them you can.
One's a shrine, and one's like.
Yeah, but a lot of the other ones, a lot of the other more like typical ones are just weird pointy things.
Oh wait. Oh, it might be an Innistrad one because it's actually a bat.
Oh, it's Innistrad. Okay, that makes sense.
It's one of the Innistrad.
Okay. No, look, I didn't know. I just knew that.
Look,
was-
Magic
I was
has
reading
so many different fucking symbols. It's hard to keep them all together.
Do you think they
Yeah,
could
basically.
do you think they could have a small pamphlet that's just all the symbols?
Look, the Dimir Guild isn't honestly even the most evil guild. Arguably, the most evil
Are
guild
they
is
just backstabbers?
Orzhov. It's just the Dimir guild leader has a habit of being,
A
An
turncoat?
asshole.
yeah, like doing something that dooms Ravnica or threatens
Also,
to doom Ravnica a lot.
I want to point out what the methodology of our friends and heroes who have a team named Gatewatch. We're going to a wedding in Innistrad for like this is like I think the third Innistrad set, the most
This is
recent one.
after they beat Cthulhu.
Like, okay,
They figured
sure,
it out.
that's perfectly fine. We should definitely go to that place and not. We're never going to this place ever again. I hate that place. It sucks.
Every time we've gone, it's been awful.
Like,
I mean, that's
if
true.
I was a like a multi-dimensional quantum jumper and I had to go to some of these places we've described, I would be like,
Oh,
I'm literally never going back there.
Oh, Gideon died. Sag. I didn't know that. Liliana quit. Of course.
Doesn't she like go back and forth on quitting or something?
Yes. It should honestly on the wiki. It should say quit for now.
I think there was several cat people, planeswalkers as well, who did things.
So actually, it's a dumb thing, but I had a dumb joke in my mind of like, so to be a planeswalker, just drawing, or I guess to be a guild leader, drawing 7 cards and winning the game is not an active way or it's not a great way of determining leadership.
So Nissa left.
Wait, Tamio got brought back and then they just killed her again? Wow, that sucks.
But why?
Not quit.
Yeah. Also, Vampire Wedding. Those guys in the back.
Oh, they brought her back for
Neon
Neon Dynasty. The fuck?
Well, that makes sense. It's her home plane. Teferi is basically the grandpa because he's from the last group of planeswalkers when they made their leader into a laser cannon to kill Space Yogg-Sothoth.
Oh, okay. So they turned her out. They opened the moon
No,
and then
Teferi.
turned her into a Phyrexian.
Also, are we having
okay.
multiple conversations? We should not do that. Axe, you should not talk to chat while we're also talking about things in VC.
You know,
Oh, this guy!
Teferi,
No,
yeah.
Teferi was one of Urza's friends, and after Urza became a giant space laser,
This guy is giving good old Jolie Bindo vibes.
he's basically the team grandpa. Also, he's a time wizard.
Explains. I assume he is blue.
Yeah, he's blue. He's mono blue.
Also, they canonically there is still a Lion Man alive in this team.
Oh yeah, no, Johnny. He's like their leader, but he's always fucked off because the story made him overpowered as shit. So
Yeah,
like
this
he
is
won.
the Catman I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
Isn't
He-
he like?
he-
Isn't he like
He
a really good
1v1
white card?
Nicobolus at one point,
Oh damn! Isn't
so
he
they
like a
had
good
to
white
like
card?
write him out of the story
Yes, that is a card art apparently.
because they went, "Oh shit, we made him too strong."
It's this.
Apparently,
card
according to Mr. Dennis
He's the
Cordell.
Aslan of Magic.
It's a great.
That's
joke.
pretty baller,
Oh
actually.
right, no, she made them. Look, Magic is confusing. I thought, yeah,
But like, so basically, Tabio became a Phyrexian, so that's a fuck. Okay.
yeah. No,
But,
Phyrexian is the Borg.
Yeah, that's. I will say this is pretty baller art.
I
You know,
can't
Johnny-
tell if... Yep.
Nicobolus went, "Ajani, I'm going to kill you," and then Ajani went, "Say fucking what?"
This card apparently is called Johnny's Last Stand, but considering he's still listed as alive in this list, I don't think
And
it worked.
It's his last stand in the story before the writers said, "Okay, you need to walk away for a
Get
bit."
the fuck out of here.
Maybe he got wounded in the process, being like, I can't magic anymore.
No, basically, Magic sometimes has what I like to call 40K syndrome of certain writers make characters way too badass, and then other writers go, well, how do we write around this?
I mean, that's honest.
We
That's
don't.
how every fucking thing is. Like, if you've ever read the old Star Wars Expanded Universe, think of Kyle Katarn in terms of the old school Dark Forces games, where Kyle Katarn is just Star Wars Doom guy, and then think of Kyle Katarn in all future New Jedi Order books, where admittedly he's pretty baller. Darth Caduceus stabs him in the chest with a lightsaber, and Kyle Katarn is able to limp away and live through it. Like, they get him in a bacta tank, and he fucking gets over it. But still, like, he's still getting jobbed out.
I mean,
she was.
Omega, just so you know, that's happened to Boots. He got better.
Well,
Hey,
Boots wasn't it wasn't an intentional attack.
This is Tomio's new art.
Oh, what's up?
That's fucking great.
Call it up for me.
Oh,
Pull it up for me, bro. Ooh.
That's terrifying.
She got worked on by Jin Gitaxis.
Oh, this is self-referential.
Yeah, that's. Did he do it because he thought it was a good idea, or because he thought it'd be fun?
The Phyrexians want to turn everything into Phyrexia.
No, it's fair, but like, did he do it personally because he thought it'd be fun?
Well, no, apparently she got.
I don't think they have a sense of humor, Axe.
I don't know what happened. Apparently, it's the ninja guy's fault.
Okay.
The one we made fun of? Kaito?
Yeah, Kaito.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
so Chet's saying it's like
he seems like a fuck up.
So Evercool wanted to be sealed to the moon, so she made Tavio do it to it. Okay.
So she got captured by Tezzeret, who's like the evil artifact planeswalker. But apparently it was because of Kaito.
Also, interestingly, we seem to be introducing new characters to flesh out our old characters. There's one last person on this list who I think the list of the Gatewatch, Kaya, which I think is just like I'm trying to figure out when she was introduced, and it seems like last year.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of
people join the
planeswalkers.
Gatewatch, I guess.
The thing is, a lot of the Gatewatch members are either gone or dead. Like Nissa's gone, Gideon's dead, Liliana's gone for now.
I want to point this out. So there's a table on the wiki. There's a table on the wiki. So you've got Jace, Chandra, Ajani, Teferi, and Kaya listed as active. Actually, it says when they joined. When did she join? She joined in War of the Spark. Yeah, so that was a novel series that was older.
Yeah, that was when Nicobolas. That's the big fight against Nicobolas.
Yeah, so that's when Gideon died. But Gideon is listed as deceased. Gideon Jura. Nisa Ravane is listed as ambiguous. You know, because she's mad at Jace, apparently.
Nahiri's a thing. Nahiri's a character that is a thing. How to best describe her? She's a Lovecraft protagonist.
And then Liliana Vess quit.
Yeah, because she's like currently like retiring as being a Strixhaven professor, I think, right now.
If Kaya is Orzavian, is she Orzavian? She looks Orzavian.
No. It says in the wiki she's from a plane that was only in like the comics, I think.
No, yeah, she's the nominal guildmaster of Orzhov in Ravnica.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's where she. That's not where she's in. That's where she's in. Okay, makes sense.
Finally figured out which planeswalker I was thinking of. I was thinking of fucking Sarkhan Dragons.
Oh, Sarkhanvul. Sarkhanvul's hilarious.
Dallas, can you just take the Magic the Gathering D&D stuff and just run me a game, teach me a story, Grandpa?
The Magic the Gathering what?
The D&D stuff, like they've got a Ravenica and Strixhaven supplement. Can we just play Magic-only subclasses?
I can do Ravnica. I don't know enough about Strixhaven to do it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying we could probably use the Strixhaven like content.
Yeah, like Ravnica is.
There is the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica.
The thing about Ravnica is you just gotta learn the guilds, and then you've got the setting pretty well.
And then you just kind of do whatever, I guess.
Well, and a lot of the guilds have themes. A lot of them based around irony. Like they're literally based around ironic concept. Spoiler: the thematic pull of Orzhov is it's death and taxes. That's literally their thing.
Sorry, I just need to share this because I was looking up Dragon's Planeswalkers. Look at this one's first effect.
Rakdos is a circus of madness. Simic is an evolving wild land. Selesnya is happy goody two-shoes fruit elves.
I can tell how much Dallas likes them.
Well, no, like, here's the thing. All of the guilds in Ravnica have a very complex moral compass, except for Selesnya, which are just unambiguously lawful good.
No one likes, and I assume no one likes them either.
No, not really. Oh, good. Yeah, Dragon God of Nicol. Yeah, that's
Is this Nicol at his full power?
Yeah, this is when he was fighting Ugin, I believe.
So I want to throw this out there. I like that his subtype here is he's Nico Bolas, Dragon God, Legendary Planeswalker, Bolas.
I mean, you have to because
someone
in
pointed
chat
out-
they mentioned.
Yeah. But also, he is my favorite color set because I did like to run that color set.
But also, read his first ability.
yeah, that's what I
Has all
shared. for
loyal
that.
abilities of all their places on the battle.
So all of their plus minus abilities, he has all of them.
He basically
You can
does that
just
mean he
do
mind
that.
controls or he just owns their power?
No, he's literally a god.
Yeah, that's what Mr. Gallenberger,
Yeah.
as you have your full
I-
name.
I
That's
could
what I was
definitely do,
referencing.
like-
I know that there are a couple of D&D. I think there's I know for
Honestly,
sure there's
I hope they
Ravinica
do
and
in-
Strixhaven.
I hope they do Innistrad, because I think that would be because Innistrad is like, it's a grim dark, like it's a grim dark, but it's grim in the grim fairy tales way.
I'm not so
And
sure
not
they'll do
so
it
much
so right
the-
away after just doing the Ravenloft book, which is another.
I mean, they've
like,
done Curse of Strahd, and they also did a book about just writing horror for D&D.
But it's not really like purely horror, because it's
Ooh.
definitely more based off of the like storybook horror.
Right,
It's
gotcha.
really
It's
interesting.
gothic horror.
I think
Also,
I found...
I'd love them to do a Zendikar thing, because just Zendikar is. Imagine a plane where there's no ground.
yeah.
Just
I
sky,
hope
it's just sky rock.
It's a bunch of
This
skies.
is a
It's so
real
cool.
alt art.
I mean, I just want to throw
thing
like
they found.
I think we've talked about this. I really think that D&D should probably like obviously they should mind the fact that there is a bajillion years of D&D and like actually bring back those settings. Do Dark Sun. I know a lot of people want it. Do that kind of stuff.
Oh, no,
Dark
it-
Sun.
Oh well,
No, it was on
Nicol Bolas.
Pinterest. That's fake. God damn it.
It's, an
It's very
interesting
cool
art,
though.
I could show you an art of Nicobolas that will make you fear him less.
Is that where he's like
it like
just
an old
studying
derp
the
art?
books?
It seems like what they're doing next is Dragonlance because that's what they're testing with Unearthed Arcana. Can we just get news articles? Not like
Damn it! It
crap.
really is making me feel like finding a
Yeah, okay, so
proper
they did, like,
way
a lot
to
of
play Magic online with
surveys.
Dallas.
I would love to watch it.
I'd love there to be one.
Is MTG Arena so bad? Let's have a look. It
Kinda.
doesn't have everything, but it has something.
And let's be honest, it's I don't think ever going to have everything because there's some things that would be
So
hard
as a dumb
to
thing,
code.
I wanted to try because my friend got into it once. And it's like I wanted to see what the fuck Hardfight Vanguard was to deal with, and it's like I couldn't find a way to play it online, so I don't know the fuck how to play it, so I didn't bother.
Oh, like the only thing.
I want to play something online, so or at least so I have a deck builder, so I understand what the fuck the game works.
There's an MTG tabletop simulator. That could be interesting.
Well, I know there's a tabletop simulator mod for the L5R Living card game, which I've joked about doing that once we finish Prague. By the way, new Prague coming this week. Don't forget, it's gonna be interesting.
It will be less goopy than last week.
I need to figure out how to play Paleo.
I will not be playing.
I'm learning,
You
but
flip
Paleo's
truck
really
card.
hard.
Coming off of my win with sports. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, you did.
Which, by the way, funnily enough, I think in recognition of that, so there is a fail portrayal for Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, but a fail portrayal poll up for patrons. If you back us on Patreon at the 5 and up level, you can access this poll. Unlike my other topic polls, this is not limit one per voter, so you can vote multiple things. Just vote for whatever you think is cool.
I think my pick was winning.
Nope.
change
Currently, UA is winning by a little bit. Everything else is kind of. That's why I assume it's because of Dallas. Everything else is kind of bundled up. Kawakimero's behind. Sidra has no votes. I don't know why anybody doesn't want us to look at Sidra. Some of those cards are
Rip.
funny.
I will note that I haven't voted yet. So
I think that's because people only know the tournament Sidra cards, which look good. So they haven't seen the goofy shit that never gets played.
Yeah, there's some weird
Protos. There are
some
cyber
bad
dragons
shit
with accessories out
We'll
there.
need to show we'll have to show the spell traps because some of those are just bad or crazy.
Well, we don't have to show the spell traps.
I mean, we can bring meta reflection unit.
Cardfight Vanguard has its own mobile game apparently. I mean, okay. You said that. I looked that up. Somebody said there is a Innistrad supplement. That's just how do I play D&D in Innistrad, and then they give some stat lines. There's not like subclasses or like items. There does appear to be a weird sanity system for tracking Emrakul, but for the most of stuff, and there's a Curse of Innistrad. But for the most of it, it seems to be just like a lot of like lore dumps in an RPG, and then there's like, how do you play a barbarian in Innistrad?
Just a normal barbarian.
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
so there's a background at least, like Inquisitor for a thing, which could be interesting. But like
honestly,
most of it's just like fluff. Like that doesn't matter to me because I'm not gonna. God forbid. Well, first of all, fuck. I don't actually know if I'm ever gonna run D&D 5e in my life. Like I have interesting concepts for it, but I much prefer to play it than run it.
Again, I think it's good. I feel like D&D 5e has the charm of being that when you're a GM and it's like I need to have a break and just do dumb things, I'll have someone else run a dumb game for me. What's easy to run?
Honestly,
5e,
if I were to ever run a Magic setting in D&D, it would either be Ravnica, which they've already done, or it would be Mirrodin, because I love the lore of Mirrodin. Specifically pre-Phyrexian Mirrodin.
Also, this got put into the chat of it. Like,
yeah, somebody's been bringing up,
but flips, yeah.
Do it.
Where are we? Rock bottom?
Yes. Lost.
I mean, he does seem lost. Oh, I like playing D&D, though I would, normally we use house rules. I was reminded, I was listening to the campaign that a couple of the people in Overly Sarcastic are in. They have that same problem we had with flanking, only they don't do the thing where they make it just a +2. Everybody's getting fucking advantage out the ass, and if you're a player, it's busted, and if you're an NPC, it fucking sucks.
I personally still prefer fourth ed, personally, but
I mean, 4e is much more mathematically sound.
I still want to try it because I still want to play a tank.
Fourth ed is only bad with bad DMs.
Yeah. I mean, so mathematically, 4e, once they get, I believe Monster Manual 1, the math was wrong, but fourth edition is a mathematically sound system. It is designed to function on a math curve. Everybody has powers, which, having played other games where, like, I don't know, like, for instance, the Star Wars RPGs where people have talents or whatever.
You can say 5e. It sucks not being a spellcaster.
Oh yeah, no, like I can't decide whether I feel like if I make another as playing a half caster and feeling heavily biased against. I played a paladin. And the game, I felt like the game really picked on me.
So I need to bring this up because I need to vent to you guys about this. Every time I try to bring up how wizards get too much cool shit, everyone keeps complaining because wizards have to like carry their spells around. But that doesn't matter.
That doesn't do anything. There's no encumbrance rules.
Here's the thing.
If you're playing a wizard and your DM steals your spellbook, punch your DM. He doesn't want you to play a wizard. You punch him or he punches you. Just
here's the thing. Playing a paladin in any way other than her, all of my spells are smites, it just sucks.
Yeah, I know. I tried to be our third wheel utility caster, and sometimes it was cool. The fact that
the fact that a barbarian priest wizard outdid you.
Yeah, I mean, like I love that.
Support card. I had fun with it because I was playing all the support spells.
The fact that thanks to our DM Vesper, who's not here right now, but Vesper was very nice and gave me cantrips anyway, which I think just you should. If you play a spellcasting class, even if you don't get casting at level 1,
you can't use them for smite. You wouldn't be able to use them for smite.
Yeah, you can't use them for smite slots, and just also the fact that they make it replace your fighting style, so it's like, okay, so you want me to be less of a martial and more of a caster? Fuck you. Anyway, but no.
Don't get me wrong.
I still like playing support bar where I actually got the second glance, so I actually had a
Oh no, I think the system is very approachable and sound. It's just like they went back to old school biases. They failed to kill their darlings, I think.
They didn't go all the way back, which is why I still, and call me heretical, I don't care. I still like 5e better than 3.5. I actively dislike 3.5.
No, I
honestly,
I
will
Pathfinder
agree with you.
second
I will
edition,
agree with
but
you
that's
there.
different.
3.5 is a broken bad system.
Also,
Yeah.
lost that card. Really cool.
Well, yeah, as a person who tends to try and play rogue, Yeah, no, 3.5.
Rogue has been broken in every edition, so
Well, yeah.
they just can't.
I mean,
fix the
that's
tech,
a
man.
fun. That's actually a fun homebrew. I would have to think about. In this one, they talked about that. So what they did is they made certain monk features not cost key points because apparently it's just a. I didn't realize this, but certain monk features are just rogue actions, but not bonus actions. You have to spend key points to do them.
Yeah, because they get cunning action, which is a third action type.
But like,
Or a
it's
fourth action
just,
type,
it's, and that just makes you think like, I mean, yeah, monks are bullshit, but also like, why do they get taxed their fucking special economy and when rogues can just do it? I guess it's because we want everything to be special in its own special way, but like, that's not balanced. That's just we're being special. Like that's the thing about 4E is
it is balanced and
Yes.
everyone is annoyed. But the thing is, I feel like 4E is the DM's
Nightmare.
D&D edition because everything is balanced. You don't have to make any stupid house rolls that you do in 3.5 or 5E
no.
to prevent combat from not working correctly. But
Yeah, no, it's
the flip side of
it's
that
the
is
same with
no
meta.
one is inordinately
I
special.
have a question for you guys then, because I have a game I play so long, but like, I've had a lot of fun playing a really fucking huge Minotaur guy as a Rune Knight, where I get even bigger, and I do multiple attacks, but I also get con-based spell-like effects. So I think that works well with the system because I get spell-like effects on things that I get like once per short rest.
I mean, in 4E, if you're a fighter, everybody has powers. So you literally have daily encountering utility powers, and some of your powers are just like, I push this man, or I daze this man, or I just do 3 weapon damage. Just roll my weapon die 3 times. I can only do that once every couple of fights.
Because like how I take it
Loth
is
is just
like,
looking at unsets, and it's very funny, by the way.
just so,
I will not
as
post them because that's not our
just
thing.
the thing I have to take it is like I'm also used to like Pathfinder 1 and 2E where it's like you have there's a difference between spell like effects like SLAs and extraordinary abilities which are just non-magical cool abilities.
Well, yeah, but that's just, I mean, that's because Pathfinder was an offshoot of 3.5. That was keeping all that nonsense. In 4E, if you've never read it, for everybody, in 4E, every class has a power source and then has a role. So, a wizard is an arcane controller. So, their power source is arcane, so all their effects are flavored as, like...
And they are the DPS/utility.
Yeah.
Or the AoE DPS.
Yeah, controller is... you do effects that are usually AoE.
Or utility.
Oh.
I still want to do that for a game that was one that I
it's because you keep posting giant card arts that push the chat. Like, how do I see your one line of text when you posted, like, 3 card arts?
If I can do that, yes.
I'm also I'm not dying, so I think my allergies are getting better. I have been, like... I have either had, like, the most weak sauce-ass sickness or my allergies have been killing me for the past couple of days. It's just felt like all the moisture was, like, leaving my head and my body was heating up, but not actually, like, really achy or feverish. I feel better this evening. It's, like, midnight, and I don't feel like I want to pass out, so I'm doing better. We can do test games. But, yeah, like, the way the roles work is, so controller is... usually AoE, yeah, and does utility stuff or like mezzing debuff stuff. I think it's called Defender. Defender is tanks. You almost always have a taunt ability, like a.
Yes.
That's the other thing that a lot of people who play video games
Tanks are better in 4E than any other D&D edition.
Because you actually have tank abilities.
Yes, no, literally every tank has a utility power to taunt. You can actually taunt. I don't know why. There are some subclasses I think that do this, but like I don't know why.
I don't
it's
know why
not
they
in
went
it.
back on that. Like
So-
I understand why they went back from
So
4E because it was
I
not
wanna bring this
popular.
up.
But I don't understand why they went
In my
back on
fighting game, I try to tank where it's like I've taken as many feats where it's like I get fucking sentinel and other things just to have it where it's just so people have to fight me or they get punished. But even so, because I don't have high dex, I can never do high enough initiative to actually fucking tank because the enemy's always too fucking far away. I'm always like 10 feet where I can't actually get in their face. I hate it.
Yeah,
every
no,
time.
it's well, some of that is also encounter design. Like depending on where you are, like if you're the actual tank man, you should always be at the front. The rogue should be behind you. So like,
I usually am. It's just sometimes they teleport to the side of the room.
yeah, I mean that's. I don't think your GM should give you a free pass, but that's why having a literal mechanical taunt is great, right? You can literally mark enemies and be like, no, you have to fight me or I'm going to punish you. Leaders are healers and support, and then
Striker is
Striker is
punchy DPS.
Yeah, Striker is just do damage.
I've learned.
I will
that,
say
yeah.
some of these are weird. Like, technically, the core book comes with 2 Martial. Martial is your physical source, but Martial, there are 2 Martial Strikers, which is really weird. Like, Ranger should absolutely have been a Martial controller.
Yeah.
But it still works.
But also, 4th Ed is the only D&D edition in the last 200 years where Ranger is good.
Yes, no.
I will bring this up. I think I've learned that it's like I don't actually I don't think I like playing DPS characters. I like playing utility support. So it's like I like playing like buffers or debuffers or tanks.
I mean, so you say there are 4 classes. Not really, because there are distinct themes. Like, a Barbarian is a Primal Striker, I think, but how they do that is mechanically, like, it is mechanically different.
They basically have transform states.
Yeah.
Where they turn into weird.
It's kind of like a stance system almost. Like, you use your power and then you're in that mode. Whereas, like, hey, guess what? A paladin is a divine defender, and a fighter is a martial defender. They do not work the same way because.
And then there's sword mage, which is the arcane defender, which is like the last one they made, which is cool.
Well, yeah, I assume sword mages get different elemental powers, whereas like as a paladin, you do like holy damage and you can turn undead and shit.
What I remember is like you get different basically hexes you put on people to like penalize them for not attacking you.
Yeah.
Also, there's 5 power sources, or there's 6 power sources.
Yes.
There's
so
arcane, divine, martial, primal, psionic, shadow.
Yeah. And the other thing is like a bard is an arcane leader. So the bard is explicitly your healer. They have arcane word is like a healing, as opposed to a warlord, which is one of my favorite concepts from 4E, which is a martial leader.
So good.
They just yell at you until you get better. That's their healing.
Right.
Like at will is just like the inspiring word.
Their other thing is one of their big abilities that is unique as a leader. I believe they're the only leader class that can do this. It basically sacrifice their action to give another class an attack.
Yes, they have the warlords in 4th have the ability to play with the action economy by being actual tacticians. They literally let other players do stuff. Like some of their powers are like, okay, I'm gonna charge that guy, and you also charge that guy at the same time.
I think I'd play that. I think I'd enjoy that.
Also, I'll say this: warlocks are the most interesting flavor-wise in 4E, in my opinion. Person, just because I love the system they did for the different packs.
I don't know what the system is if you're willing to the
Well, so they do. They have different packs. One is obviously Pact of Infernal, Pact of Fey, Pact of the Stars, which spoiler, that's Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Pact of Shadow, and there's one more.
Yeah, there's a few more. So it's interesting. There's not quite subclasses in 4th.
No, they're sub-themes, which you can mix and match.
Yeah, there are themes, and obviously there are, like, lines, but it's not... That is one thing I do like about 5e, and I think that this is 5e's great strength, is subclasses let you play, like, wildly different flavors of everything.
Yeah.
It's just that, unfortunately, as we've talked about,
generic.
like, with Magic's, like, art design and game design, same with Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's the same in D&D. When they did some early 5e stuff, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So that's why you get, like... newer sorcerer subclasses which give you extra spells somehow, because sorcerers literally have less spells than other full casters because, well, I don't know, meta magic lets them do stuff, right? But that's also a resource.
Also because they don't need physical components, even though druids also do that too. But
also, the multi-classing system in 4E is
not great.
Interesting. No,
if I remember rightly, it's weird.
So there's 2 levels of multi-classing. There's the normal multi-classing, which is you basically take feats to gain powers and abilities of other classes. That's normal.
Yeah.
Then there's hybrid classing, where you literally rip 2 classes in half and stitch them together.
Yeah,
and it's the most complicated thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that sounds too much for me.
Well, and I will say this:
well,
this is the thing about 4th is that 4th is very math heavy. So.
Yeah.
Dallas, by the way, did we get to all the cards you wanted to do? Because we've been on mic for like almost 4 hours.
No.
Okay.
I'm out of this.
All right. I mean, we can probably just play test games. I don't know if you chat are still okay with us yelling about
I mean, half our viewers are gone, so.
Yeah. Okay. We're going a little low. Yeah. We've shot down a little bit. So we can wrap up here. Thanks so much for tuning into this extravagance.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about
Thank you
this
for
like
putting up
halfway.
with my bullshit.
Yeah,
And
Magic is
apologies for any facts I got wrong. I will once again say I have not played Magic since Tarkir, which I believe was like 8 years ago.
I assume you've been keeping tabs on it at least.
Vaguely.
And also note if we're not going to show AWOL because we talked about it earlier, but well, I mean, I guess I could put it on the screen, but we're not going to talk about it. I have to scroll up and find it.
Yeah,
Dallas,
that card's still
so
funny though.
Dallas
That card's
deliberately
really
made a point that we're not talking about those
Like,
unsets because those are literal joke cards.
Unsets
So.
are like, you can't judge the art of because it's
they're all
purpose. They're jokes. But AWOL is so funny that I just want to put it up there because it's just
that one's like, I would say that one would be fucking almost asphyxiate. Like,
Yeah,
fuck,
that's-
that's funny.
like
All right, so
like a
while
lot
I
of
do
the
my
jokes
outro,
are like
I'm about to go AWOL.
Like my personal favorite is Cheaty Face as just a concept because I have played that cards in non-unhinged games.
Wait,
too.
I just noticed. You can see the fucking like reverse back of the card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dallas
no,
mentioned that way
it's-
a long time ago.
Yeah, it's the exact mirror of the. Cheaty Face is a hilarious card because I've played it in real matches. I've just like, I've just had Cheaty Face in my EDH game.
What's TD Face do?
Cheaty Face's card effect is literally if you can sneak this on the board, it costs 0.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, like sleight of hand that at the table.
Yes, I have sleight of handed under like an island and like it's Cheaty Face. Like,
It's like I can't stop you because that's all it says at the rules of the card.
No, my opponents usually just like stop.
I once had a guy say toy boat like 10 times. It was.
I mean,
awesome.
how it goes.
Anyway, we're gonna get on out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in for this. We will be back to our normal fail portrayal next week. I think that means it's time for another because the poll's still ongoing. You can vote on that on Patreon now. That'll probably be like one of the later weeks in the month. Like I think it doesn't end until like the 17th, so it'd have to
Well,
be. Like
I mean, the
19th,
next
26th.
thing I think.
We did Laval last.
Gonna say, would it be? Is it time for Shadal?
No, not quite, because we're still in the Evil Swarm. Actually, no, it might be Evil Swarm then. Because I think we still need to do Gem Knights, I guess. Is Gem
But
Knights
Gem
next?
Knights is like later because it has so much support.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
Gem Knights
the-
goes on for a long time. Gem Knights is this time period. Let me check out.
I mean, I guess we could do most of them. We can then, I guess, just do
No,
like
don't
an addendum for like at a later point.
give me the
Or,
actual
like,
list
5
of
cards.
the series Hidden Arsenal.
They are definitely the most meta-defining hidden arsenal archetype. I don't think that's an.
Okay, mostly because they also got like Arcview support. Because
No, it
three
was
of
it's literally
It's
because of 2 cards. It's because of
Literally
Brilliant Fusion
Gem Knight
Seraphin.
Fusion.
Laval, we've already done.
it's Brilliant
Laval, we've
Seraphin.
done. Phylon,
Or, yeah,
we've done.
Brilliant Fusion, sorry. not Gem Knight
Gishki,
Fusion.
we have done Gusto, we've done Steel Swarm. So yeah, no, I mean if we're looking at literally like we open up a Hidden Arsenal 5, Steel Swarm Invasion, the only thing we haven't done is Gem Knights. So I think that must be our next pick, unless let me check the next set. Is there anything else bullshit in here that I tucked in? Lavals, Gustos, Vylons, Levels, Gustos, Vylons, Gem Knights. No, what was in Night of the Stars? That'll be Evil Swarms and, like, Constellars. Yeah,
Oh,
like, in good conscience, we should
Constellars.
do Gem Knights next. We might die, we might pick something else, but I think that would be, like, what is next in our list. Is begin the quest of the Gem Knights.
Gem Quest. Here we go.
Yeah, we might explode. And remember, like I said, that poll, UA is currently winning, but only by a little bit. Multiple people can vote. You can get in there. You can do stuff. So I'm going to close down some of this stuff, and we're going to get on out of here. I'm going to cut my Chandelar music. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. If you like these, don't
Bye.
forget to subscribe to us and all that fun stuff. Like this video. Also, go back and check out either previous fail portrayals or previous stream series if you want to listen to me Unlucky play through all of Uncharted. I made that a playlist today, so you can check that out. Also, we just started a Skyward Sword HD playthrough. You can check that out as well. Stay tuned for more Prague. We will have Prague this week. It will be Invasion Vengeance. I don't know if I said that correctly. I always stumble
Invasion
over saying
colon.
Invasion. I'm
I
very
need to
nasally
figure
about it.
out. If,
So,
like, yeah.
thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time for more Fail Portrayal. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a
So,
good one.
Right.
so as the thing,
Bye.